For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Okay, then listen. Right, I've found some things that I think will interest you, and I want your first thoughts on these. Okay. Now these are facts that I've sourced. Okay.
What's the actual topic?
Well, you love animals, don't you? You're interested in animal
Some
facts.
of them. I don't love them. Some of them fascinate me and stuff, but a lot of them also get on my nerves.
I don't know how an animal can get on your nerves.
They just do.
Okay, then here you
Right.
go. There's a frog, Carl. Just a little frog, a poison arrow frog, that contains enough poison to kill over 1,000 human beings.
Why is it that annoyed?
It's not annoyed.
Well, why is it going about killing 1,000 people?
No, it has the potential to. It has enough poison, it has enough toxin in it that could kill 1,000 human beings.
But does it need that? Whereabouts is this? Where's it living?
Rainforest, I think.
And does it need that sort of power? Is it in that much? Is it getting threatened a lot? Is what I mean.
Well, no, because it's saying, don't come near me, and it shows it with its colours. It's got the colours that say it doesn't want to be eaten. It doesn't want people to chew a bit, right, and go, oh, I'm an idiot. It's saying, look at my colours, don't eat me. You don't want to come near me.
But then why give it bright colours? Because now it's standing out.
Yeah, and it's going, don't eat me.
Yeah, but make it a colour that fits in, like camouflage. Why make it orange? Of course it's going to stand out, and then they'll attack it. And then it'll turn around and bite and kill 1,000 men or whatever.
No, it doesn't bite. It's the fact that if you were to eat it, you would die.
Yeah, but who's going to eat it?
Well, things that eat frogs.
The French.
And they go, sacre bleu, you have killed me and 999 of my friends.
But why is everything, like, surviving like this, though? I thought it was all about survival of the fittest, not the one who looks the hardest.
Well, but survival of the fittest is whether you're chosen or not by nature.
No, but I'd survive if I could go about killing 1,000 men at one bite. It's not fair.
It doesn't bite. It's
well, whatever, if it licks you or whatever. But
no,
not
if it licks you. If you lick it.
Well, I'm not going to lick it. It's not going to happen. I will not be licking a frog. So it's of no danger to me. So I could still kill it, and there's no chance. At no point am I going to lick a little frog's head. Not when it's alive or when it's dead.
I love the fact it's all about you. It's all about how it relates to you.
And he's annoyed that they're getting away with something. He doesn't like any sly animals. He doesn't like animals hiding. Then he wants them hide. He doesn't want animals killing things. Then he wants them to kill things. He doesn't know what he wants.
When they say survival of the fittest, they don't mean that, say, lions have been working out in a gym.
It means the fittest gene pool, and the fittest gene pool is a gene pool that's still around. That's all it is.
You think that everything, slugs, cats, are all somehow their ambition is to be like us, or to have the attributes like us, that they can speak, they can talk, they can think, they can act.
I only think that because when you see people with these pets, lizards, cats, whatever, they treat them like the humans. So I think if you do that enough times, they're going to start getting familiar with certain...
Planet of the Apes.
No,
He's
I'm
thinking
talking,
of Planet of the Apes.
Say like you with your cat, the way you talk to it, you give it a little cheeky massage and that when it's stressed out.
No, you made that up, that it was stressed out. I'm just playing with my cat, right? If anything, the cat is to de-stress me.
So you're talking to your cat, Rick. Is it answering back much? How are the conversations going with your cat?
Well, I have more intelligent conversations with my cat than I do with him.
Yeah, here's one, right? When my gran died, right, she had this rubbish dog, right, and that's all we got left. It was called Fluffy, and like my gran looked after it in a way that it was treated like a human. Do you know what I mean? Had a little coat on when it went out and all that. Anyway, so she died. We get left it. My dad's like, oh, bloody hell, right? Before you know it, it was a wreck. Because we weren't sort of bathing it the way she bathed it. We let it out. If it wanted to go out, it got covered in oil. It used to go under the car and everything. So it went from looking like this fluffy, poodle, to just being a bit of a wreck. It got hit by a car, it ran sideways like a crab and all that.
In the course of how long? A month?
Probably about two months or something.
Yeah.
Now, so it went from being over-treated to just being treated like a dog.
Yeah. But a dog isn't, is not a indigenous species anywhere. We sort of bred those from,
but
jackals
change it. All I'm
and
saying
wolves.
is change it. Take away the dog thing. I mean, that lizard thing you've got,
Salamander.
it's still sort of treated as part of the family, even though it
Well,
does
it's not.
nothing.
How is it treated as part of the family?
Just the way, it's looked after, that big area that it's got to itself.
We stick it in a case and feed it a cricket now and again. How is that like one of the family?
It doesn't matter because it's in your flat.
It is in Carl's family.
It's in your flat, innit? And it's sat in that corner. I just mean, as time goes on, things get educated as they get older. How old's that lizard?
You don't.
How old is it?
About 15 years old.
Right. Now, it knows more now than it did when you got it because it's been in those surroundings. It's had its eye on things.
It's 15, so presumably it listens to a lot of Linkin Park, goes on the internet a lot.
No, but do you know what I mean? You've already proved your point. It's like that fella who kept hitting the dog on the head with a stick.
Right. Pavlov, at no point did he hit a dog on the head with a stick.
But he kept doing it, and eventually the dog went, I'm sick of this, and wandered off, didn't it?
Pavlov there.
Brilliant. Do you know what I'd like to do? A programme where you paraphrase someone's theory. So Pavlov's first. We could do Freud. Give us, what do you know about Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis? Right, come on in.
I don't know anything on him.
Here's an interesting fact. If the frog annoyed you, this might annoy you. A blind chameleon will still change colour to match its surroundings. You're aware that the chameleon can...
Yeah, whatever it sits on.
Yeah.
But then what happens when you put one of them on a mirror? No, does it get stressed out, or what? What's it copying?
Well, it probably doesn't need to copy anything because it looks at itself and it goes, oh, looks like that. It's brilliant. God, that was fast. That's the fastest I've ever done that. That is brilliant.
So they can go any colour. There's nothing. You can put them on anything, and they'll go to the thing.
I don't want you to have a chameleon because you'd just be trying to see what it could and couldn't
Try and
do.
catch it out.
I know, yeah.
Pop it on some tartan.
But again, say like the frog thing, right?
Pop it on the telly.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it fast enough.
Why does the chameleon need that skill of copying a colour? Because at the end of the day, that's mainly sticking in the woods, isn't it? By trees, by grass.
Right.
Why can't it just stay green? That's all it needs. Those colour changes are only for camouflage, aren't they?
I don't know. Some of them are for attraction. Some of them to show moods, anger.
No, but I just think we're encouraging them. You see, maybe this is evolution or whatever, but at the end of the day, because they can change colour, they're wandering out of their area. They can be wandering about, through a car park and everything, just because they'll go, well, I don't want to get seen, change the colour of concrete. Whereas...
Or into the colour of a Fiat Punto.
But they should just stay green. Stay green, right? Stay in the woods and stay safe.
I love this public information for chameleons.
Words of advice for chameleons.
Oh, God.
Stay green, stay in the woods, stay safe, good night.
Oh, God. Right. The only time a turkey whistles is when it panics.
Christmas time then.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Carl?
It goes from one extreme to another, doesn't it? You've got a frog who's going mental,
It's not going mental.
killing thousands of people.
No, that's not.
That's got that sort of power. Then you've got a turkey who's whistling for help.
You think that you should redress the balance a little bit? You want to give... What would you do? Give the frog the ability to kill 500 and the turkey 500?
I don't think you should be killing... I reckon 10. 10, because...
You've made your point with 10, haven't you?
Do you think that he's got 1,000 in his lifetime, like he's got 1,000 to kill? I don't think you understand.
I just
He
think...
doesn't really kill 1,000 people. It doesn't mean someone goes, Frog, you have the power to kill 1,000 people in your lifetime.
Choose them wisely.
But I just think if it needs that sort of power...
It should be fighting evil.
Well, it's not... it's knocking about the wrong area, isn't it? If it's under that much danger, move. I was thinking the other day about, your body and everything, because it is amazing, isn't it? How it works.
Oh, yeah.
Does the brain control you, or are you controlling the brain? I don't know if I'm in charge of mine.
Nor do I,
There's
Carl.
a surprise.
Nor do I,
No,
Carl.
do you know what I mean though by that?
Does the brain control you, or do you control the brain?
Like, don't you ever sort of think sometimes? Say if you're making,
But
'cause
you
I
are
was
the
making,
brain.
No, but I was making a shopping list, right? Going right, I need some rice, kidney beans, and I thought I had everything, and I sort of was rolling up the paper, and then something went, oh, an onion.
Your brain did
Something
that.
went an onion. Was it Suzanne?
No, well, my brain sort of went, you forgot something.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd forgot. I was
No,
putting
you
that-
are your brain.
No, but don't you understand? My brain was I was in control of my brain when I was writing down rice and kidney beans.
But you're not in charge of the onion. That's another part of the brain that's in charge of the onion.
The onion sector.
No, but I'd put the paper away, putting my coat on, ready to go and get the rice.
Yes, but your onion lobe kicked in.
What? So you put the paper in your pocket, you got the coat on, then you just suddenly hear
Then
from
it
nowhere,
was just like
onion.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about that shopping list. It's in my pocket. I'm thinking, do I need my gloves? It's cold out.
Yeah.
Suddenly, onion. And it was like, oh yeah, onion. Yeah, I had to get the paper out.
You
So
had
what
to
I'm
write that
saying
down.
is,
But
who's in charge?
The brain, the mind, the brain is the. What are you doing? Who's in
That's
charge?
just you forgot the onion, then you remembered the onion. You must have forgotten things in the past.
No, but not like that. Not where, like, it just made me think that was weird. Who reminded me of that?
You did.
Yeah, but I'm not.
No, you are your brain. It's not like there's you, then there's a brain, then there's an extra one looking down at it. Oh, the meta brain, the thing above it.
No, but your brain. How does your brain work? You give it information, don't you?
Well, it takes.
Do you mean you give it information?
Well,
if I sat in a room with nothing, not feeding it anything, it wouldn't know anything.
No, but there's this thing
But
that there's
then-
two yous. It's this thing that there's this.
Carl and Carl's brain.
Yeah, there's not a duality in this. If you go, come on, now think. That's the brain saying that to itself. It's not. There's not two people in there having an argument. Come on, brain. And the brain's going, oh, don't you start, I was thinking then. And the other thing's going, brain, onion. And the brain goes, Carl, onion. You are your brain. If you are anything, you are your mind, your brain, your collection of memories, your personality. You're not what you look like. Does that answer your question, Carl? What did you think of then? You were thinking of a tortoise on a skateboard then when I did that last sentence, weren't you?
You know, whilst you've been working on that, I've been travelling about a bit. Went to Dorset, right? Nice beach there. And you know those huts you get? Like a hut on the beach, and
where you get changed?
you can get changed in it, but they're better than that. It's like you can put a telly in it, sofa if you want.
Oh, you don't mean the Victorian changing hut?
Yeah,
You
those
mean
sort
like
of things. It's sort of bigger than that.
Yeah.
And we're walking down there, and there was a really sort of big fat family in one of them. There was about 4 of them, and you could tell that they'd never had a game of anything. Do you know what I mean? They just sit down there, eating ice creams, looking at the sea and what have you. And the weird thing is, the little fat kid, the youngest one, who must have been, I don't know, about 8, he was really fat to the point of you couldn't see his neck.
Yeah.
And he sat at the front of his mum and dad and his older sister. He sat there and he had a frisbee, and I thought, look, they don't want to play with him. I mean, that's an active game to play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Frisbee. As we got closer, he was just using it to eat Maltesers out of. I just thought, even again, you know, the one active thing he's got, he's using it to eat out of.
Yeah. Extraordinary.
And that just sums up what people are like now when it comes to keeping fit and activities.
Oh, that's fantastic.
One thing I've noticed, because I occasionally go to the gym, and you know those guys who work out constantly to give themselves extraordinary physiques. Just they're on the trip, they're on the weights, and they're really. And I've noticed in the summer particularly, those guys cannot wait to get their shirts off.
Yeah.
Everywhere you see, they're walking around. If they've got a good torso, they are walking shirts off. Even I think if you go to nightclubs, I notice there's always one guy who's thinking, well, I have put so much work into this body, I have got to get my shirt off on the dance
A
floor.
vest, yeah.
You know, and it comes straight
A
off.
brand new tattoo. I'm not covering that up.
Exactly.
I've paid a lot for it. Let's see it.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what we were saying about bodies. I can't remember why we were talking about it. We've got to a point in science now that you can change your head. Right?
No, well, that doesn't make any sense at all.
It was a program on. It was done in the 50s or 60s where they stuck a monkey's brain on a stick and had it wired up and it still worked. Right.
Right. Okay.
And that was in like the 60s or
Right.
whatever.
Okay. Well,
So-
to say to change your head makes no sense at all. Because if you put a different head on a different body, you're changing the body.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm about to say to you, though.
What?
That's what I'm saying. That I'd be more confident if I had someone else's body. Because if anyone dissed it, I can go, no, it's bad, innit? But it's
What
not
are you
mine.
talking about?
Well, it's like, say,
As opposed to someone else's head?
yeah. Well,
What,
it
you'd
wouldn't be
ra-
me, would it? The head is me.
Well, of course it is. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So
the
what do you
head's
mean?
me.
You'd be happier having someone else's body? What, than your own?
What I mean is, say if you're wandering about, for some reason, there's an incident. You have to take your top off and that, and everyone's looking at you, right? And you're a bit sort of, you haven't got the muscles and that, you haven't got the six-pack,
All right.
which isn't that nice anyway. I don't know why that's become a nice thing, really, seeing the insides of you. You might as well... I mean, I know I came up with the see-through skin idea, but it's a bit weird, isn't it? You can see stuff.
No, it's the muscle in front of the...
No, it's not. Sometimes
is.
you can
It's
see
not the-
It's
like,
not the
tubes.
outline of your
No,
organs.
you can't see tubes.
You can see tubes and veins and stuff.
Well, you can see veins.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see that. That's why we've got skin over it. Is
Well,
what
stop
I mean.
looking at naked men, then.
Why-
No,
you
but
keep
sometimes you can't help it because it's been hot, and like you say, there's people walking about with vests on and that. So anyway, what I'm saying is, say if some incident happened, I'm walking about with my top off.
Right.
Girls are laughing at me, right?
Why?
Dunno, they might.
Yeah, go on. So they
So-
wouldn't look at your body, they'd all look at your head.
So what I mean is,
Yeah.
rewind that, right, and imagine all that happens again, but I've got someone else's body.
Right.
Whose body?
Just some fella who's died, and my body was injured, and they said, we've got a new body in. You can
Right.
have it. We'll
Yeah.
stick your head on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, say if...
They're laughing at you.
they are
laughing at the body,
They're laughing
yeah.
at the body.
Yeah.
But at least I'd be able to sort of go, I know it's a mess, but it's not mine. At least I don't have to claim ownership.
So all of this extraordinary technology that can make put one head on another person's body, so you can go, it's not my body.
No.
But
it's not your own.
I'm not being funny though. So if you have a body transplant, right, and you're there, you're at home, naked, you look down,
Yeah.
lovely penis and a set of testicles,
Yeah.
right? What do you do with them?
What do you mean? What am I doing with them?
Well, do you like them?
Well, you wouldn't mess about with them as much as if they were your own.
But if you did mess about with them, would you feel guilty that you were messing about with another man's testicles and penis?
And it's the full body.
Yeah.
No, because they're not my hands either.
You're a genius! You're a fucking genius! So what you're doing is watching someone else wank.
Yeah.
Oh, chimpanzee that! He's gone and written it down again!
That's the ever-changing jingle for Carl's diary, excerpts of which we like to read each week. Walked through Covent Garden. There were 5 of them mimes knocking about. I don't understand why people take pictures of mimes. Everyone looks like a mime in a picture.
That's so true. That's really true. If the point is they're staying still, if that's their skill, a picture won't tell that story. That's absolutely true.
My dad took the cat to be put down today because it kept bumping into things since losing its sight. My mum said she's not going to get another one. She said the parrot is looking worried as it's seen the budgie and the cat go in the space of 3 months.
Your mum said the parrot's looking worried. What happened to the cat then?
It gets into a lot of fights. It lost one eye, and then it got into another fight and lost another.
Oh,
and it was
no.
just walking around bumping into stuff. The vet sort of said, "Oh, we can do stuff to keep it alive and all that," but it's a bit out of order, isn't it? Because it costs a fortune. They shouldn't tell you.
But
Mum and Dad can't afford to have eyes put on it and stuff.
no, you can't have eyes put on a cat
No,
anyway.
but they said, "Oh, we can do something here. We can
What?
have its eyes sorted out."
But I don't think you should be allowed cats.
Why?
Not the Pilkington family.
Why not? Well,
They
they have
keep
good
dying.
lives. Yeah, I know, but they have good lives whilst they're still knocking about. It's just that we get through them.
It's a good job you're not going to have kids.
Oh, God almighty. I can't believe it.
A mate sent me a story on email about a bloke in China who has this weird illness that means he can't have his picture taken. That's not the weird bit. If he tries, his body doesn't appear in the photo.
Don't talk shit.
He has had group pictures taken and everyone appeared apart from him.
Don't talk shit.
The
That's
story
bollocks.
had a picture next to it of a family photo and it said he was stood at the back, but you couldn't see him.
Right, he wasn't in the picture.
He was in the picture.
No, he wasn't in the picture.
We've done loads of tests and stuff.
No,
on him.
I haven't done loads of tests. This is bollocks. There's no way this is scientifically possible. What's his want? Yeah, now he's wanted. Just a white bit of paper up on the police wall. Have you seen this man? What man? If you see him, tell us. You're talking shit.
Suzanne watched the film You've Got Mail tonight for about the 14th time. I don't think you could properly fancy someone without seeing them, unless you're blind. I think it's odd when blind people have affairs. Why is that odd?
Just because most stuff is based on looks, innit? So you think once they've found someone, they're happy with them, stick with them.
But no, it's not true. But I mean, most things are based on looks.
What I mean is when you first like meet someone and that.
Well, initially it's only looks because you don't know them.
So that's what I'm saying.
But that's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it?
Well, no, it's just what I think. I'm not saying that's like facts or anything. I'm just thinking if you're blind, why mess about?
You're still basing on it if it's only looks that people find. What?
Yeah, I'm just saying. So why is a blind person messing about having an affair?
Because I'm saying that presumably that blind person isn't basing anything on looks.
I just all right. I mean, maybe that's not. I mean more like.
Do you want me to cross it out? Shall I cross it out? Because
it's just the same way. I think I put how people. I read something in a Sunday paper once with some bloke who was going out with some woman. He ended up going out with a sister who was a twin. If you're going to have a change, have a change.
Spoke to Ricky about trips to the moon. He was up for going just to see what the world looks like. I came up with the idea of a giant mirror on the moon that would reflect the world back. He had a few questions, but I had the answers.
Yeah.
He changed the subject. I won.
Right. My first question was, how would you get it up there? He said bit by bit. That'd be a good mirror then, wouldn't it? I said, how big would it be? He went, you'd still need a telescope. I said, how would you get it on the right side of the moon, always facing the right? He went, what? He went, does the moon move then? I went, yes.
And if we don't like the mirror on the moon, we can always wallpaper over it. It's Suzanne's birthday tomorrow, so I've got to get her something. I sometimes think it would be best if we didn't celebrate birthdays. I think people would live a bit longer if they didn't know how old they were. Age puts restrictions on things. She said something about wanting one of them posh badges to put on her coat. I will look for one later.
I love the fact that around the time that you've got to buy Suzanne her birthday present, you think that birthday presents are a bad idea.
Got up early, it's Suzanne's birthday, gave her the card and present. She was well happy with her posh badge. She wore it to work. It's quite nice to hear a moment where she was actually happy for once in your company. They always say when you get someone a present, you should buy them something they wouldn't buy themselves. Daft rule. I want something I would buy myself if I had the money. When I was young, me Auntie Nora got me a present I wouldn't buy myself. It was a t-shirt with her face on.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing.
Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Now, everyone knows over the past sort of like few years, my big pet project, it hasn't been my own career, it's been get Carl famous.
Yeah.
I want people to recognise him in the street, come up to him and say, "You bald-headed mank twat."
Well, let me tell you now, Rick, I've
on.
been out and about, and a lot of people have come up to me and said, "It has Carl Pilkington got a head like a fucking orange?"
Well,
and
I've
I've
been-
had to instantly confirm the answer to be yes.
But he's had a call. He had a call recently from a film company asking him if he's got any ideas for movies. Now, how desperate, in what dire straits must the British film industry be that they're going, "We need Carl Pilkington. We have hit rock bottom," and he went along for an interview.
So what? And you went in and you...
I went along and had a meeting, and they just said, "Right, got any ideas?" And sort of said, what are you thinking? What sort of thing are you after? Are you after action, thriller, whatever?
Because you can provide any of that.
I love that he's playing it cool, like you've come to the right person.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
time's precious, what do you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Carl Pilkington, the movie doctor, what do you need, Papa?
So thought of this idea sort of on the spot.
Good.
That I whiz by
planning.
'em. No, but sometimes that's how good ideas come up, don't
Yeah.
they? Just
So
random.
a lot of yours have come up, yeah.
No, but if you just
Randomly.
talk, I find that your mouth comes out with stuff.
Right, there's another
Right,
quote.
right.
There is another quote.
If you talk, your mouth comes out with...
That to me stands along with what were those things in Gremlins called?
No, but what I mean, if you sit there and try and use your brain to do it,
Right.
it doesn't work the same. Just keep talking. Just keep your mouth talking, and eventually it will come out with something pretty good.
That is exactly what Plato said.
So
So
anyway,
Aristotle, he said, "Sit down. I've got an idea for you." Aristotle said, "Plato, how do I go?" Right, just keep talking, and eventually your brain will come out with stuff.
so what I thought, I just started off by saying like actors' names and that who I thought should be in it, because then that's giving more. It's building.
Right,
Okay,
so
who
who did you
say?
say?
Who did you say?
So I said, right, I'm seeing Clive Warren,
That's Clive Warren.
Who's Clive Warren?
the one who was in Closer.
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen.
Right, all right.
Did they look at you
I
like you're a
said
fucking
Clive.
idiot?
So they all started trying to figure out, who's this Clive Warren we've not heard about? He must be amazing. He's on
Warren. Get me Clive Warren on the phone.
Who's got
Get
Clive
me
Warren?
Clive Warren.
And I said Rebecca De Mornay, right?
Where did that come
She hasn't been in a film for 15 years, has she?
Clive Warren and Rebecca De Mornay. They thought he was a genius. They've never thought of putting Clive Warren with Rebecca De Mornay.
But hang on a minute, you could have any film star. This is your fantasy casting, and you choose a bloke that doesn't exist and a woman who hasn't been on TV or in a film for 10 years.
Oh God!
Why didn't you choose,
Someone who existed.
J-Lo or someone who's a big star?
God! Clive Warren! Oh God! Oh
So
God.
anyway, starts off, and the people, you're seeing into their lives from
Yeah.
like the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
Radio's on. They're going about the day. They're having the breakfast. They're saying, "Oh, what we're doing tonight?" And you're thinking, "Oh, they've got a nice life." She's like, "Love you" and all that. Yeah. He walks out the house, gets hit by a bus.
Oh,
So Clive Warren's dead.
I don't know if Clive Warren would take that part
because he ain't got
doesn't-
much to do, has he?
No, I don't. If I know Clive Warren,
And I think you do.
I think I do. Carry on. So he's hit by a bus, so he's
So
dead.
he's hit by a bus and that. The titles come up.
Oh,
It's got
yeah.
you, right? She's
Starring
devastated. She's
Clive Warren.
fed up. She's devastated in that. Doctor says Clive's dead.
Who's playing the Doctor? Jack Nicholson House.
What's that fella who was in Independence Day?
Will Smythe.
No, the old black fella.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him in. He's
Morgan
the
Freeman.
doctor.
Yeah.
He says, "Your husband's dead." She's like, "Oh God." What happens then is he says, "But listen, what we can do now, we can take the brain out."
Right.
Right.
And a fact that I'd read that day before the meeting. This isn't in the film now. This is me.
Right, but
Right.
luckily you
I read
the
a
fact.
thing about how the brain can run on half of it. You've actually got a full brain.
Some
Run
of
it on
us have.
half. So this was in my mind still.
Well, half your mind, yeah.
So I said, what happens is Morgan Freeman says, been working on this. You can run your life on half a brain.
Right.
She's sort of a bit like, what are you telling me this for now? My husband's just died like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, but if we're going to do this, we've got to act quick. She's like, do what? He says, whilst his brain's not fully dead, because it stays awake for a bit when you've been killed.
He's not dead then, fine.
No, but he is, but they found out that it stays awake a little bit.
No,
He's gone.
No,
You're hit by a bus.
Yeah, no, he's dead. If the brain's dead, you are dead.
Clive Warren's dead.
And if the brain's not dead, you're not dead.
No, but it's like people in a coma. They're dead, aren't they? But the brain isn't dead.
No, they're in a coma.
No, they're not dead.
Coma.
No, they come out of comas, don't
All right, then he's in a coma. He's been hit by the bus, but the chances are he's not going to come out of that coma, but his brain is still awake. So change that. That's easily done.
Hold on, though. I like this fact that he's in a coma, so they're going, look, he's definitely going to die in this coma. Take the brain out now. Pop the brain out.
But why is that such a weird thing when that's what they do now? That's what they do now.
What is?
That's what they do.
What?
They do that.
What? A brain transplant?
No, but when, like, how I've signed that donor card,
Yeah.
like, if anything happens to me...
No.
they've
There's
got the
no
lot.
such thing as a brain donor. Oh, we've explained to you before.
Yeah, but they're working on it. They've said something about Einstein. They messed about with his brain for ages, trying to work out if it was full of stuff. That's what they're doing. They're working on that. There's loads of things that doctors are doing that we don't know about. I've seen some weird stuff on the internet.
Yeah, I know you have. Yeah.
I saw a programme on Channel 5 where a monkey brain was still alive and it was stuck on a stick. And they
You were
poked
watching
it.
the Magic Roundabout.
They poked it and it reacted.
Right.
So it's still alive. It's being kept alive, and it's only a matter of time. What's the brain linked up to? As long as you can link it up to the eyes, and somehow so it can tell the arms and legs what to do, you're laughing.
I love that. Imagine a team full of doctors going, well, we're going to try and do a brain transplant. Carl, as long as you can link this up to the eyes and tell the arms and legs what to do, we're laughing. Cheers, Carl. See you later.
Then what happens is they say, do you want half of his brain in your head?
Half of his brain in her head.
She says, definitely not. I'm having you struck off. She starts screaming. She calls the police. He gets
Yeah,
arrested.
but you'd have said that years ago when people can have, like, someone else's arm put on their body and stuff.
Yeah, but he's only in a coma.
Yeah.
No, but he's not going to come out of that coma.
Right.
So it's like this or nothing. It's
Right.
like, look, you know, what we're going to do here, we can either turn the switch off or we can put his head in your head.
But why would you...
So
why...
what he does? So what they do then? They're going to take half his brain.
Half of his brain, take
Put it-
out half of hers, pop it in place.
Why would she do that?
Because she loves him.
But hold on. Well, no. Wait. What would she then be?
Because this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Sorry.
What happens is, he explains all this, so I mean, this would probably cover about 20 minutes in the film, but I'm just rushing
I just
rushing
switched
it
off,
up now.
but yeah.
No, you wouldn't. This bit would have you. So what...
Well, I'd have actually left when I wouldn't have even gone in to see a film starring Clive Warren and Rebecca De Mornay, unless it was 1985.
So the thing is, she's the same as you. She says the same thing. She goes, why would I do that, doctor? And he goes, well, what will happen is he's gone, but you'll have his thoughts. So in the morning when you say, oh, I don't know what to have, well, I have cornflakes, his bit of the brain will sort of say,
Have a Weetabix.
have shredded wheat or
Yeah.
whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, good idea.
Sorry. So the point of this film is that the dead man can remind her what breakfast cereal she likes.
Yeah. So the thought...
What do you mean, yes? So that's it, is it?
No, that's not the only thing.
Wait a minute, this is only Act 1.
That's just the first bit. Everything's going well. She has it done.
So who is she? Is she herself?
She's Rebecca De Mornay,
Yeah.
but now
With
and again with him chipping in with a bit of voiceover. So the idea is it's all going well at the beginning, and she's...
So she can't decide what dress to wear.
She's had half of her brain taken out and put in a bin,
Yeah.
okay? And Clive Warren's half has been put in there. So now she's walking round, okay.
So
Yeah.
she's like a schizophrenic.
No, like I say, the brain is alive, so it's all going well when she leaves hospital,
Yeah.
and she gets her first taste of it, and it's a bit weird to get hold of because she's sort of... I think when she signs herself out, he's sort of fighting in his name and stuff. So there's a few sort of technical things that she has to get used to.
And does Clive's brain
What does
know
he
that
think?
he's now inside her brain?
Does that matter?
Well, I would say it matters because
Yes.
otherwise...
Yes, it does matter, Carl. What's he thinking?
What's
What's the point of this? Why has she gone along with this?
Because she really loves him.
But what's in it for him? What does she think?
Well, say if I died
Yeah.
and Suzanne said, go on, I'll have half of Carl's. right, she would wake up in the morning to a thought of me sort of going, oh, you never guess what I've just thought about or whatever. I'd still be there. The rest of your body is sort of waste, isn't it?
But Carl,
The rest of your body's sort of waste.
No, it is, kind of. If when someone dies, it's
Yeah.
not that person anymore, is it? You can't have a chat with them. So if you could have someone's brain in your head when they're dead, you'd have it, wouldn't you?
What are you talking about? Why would I have someone's brain in my head when they're dead?
Well, what
I've
else?
got a perfectly good brain.
So you're telling me you wouldn't have it done then?
Of course I fucking wouldn't.
I
Why
can
would
also categorically state I wouldn't either.
Yeah, but you're saying that now, but once you're in that position that someone who, you know, you love and that dies, if the doctor said, do you want it?
No!
And you've
I go, no! It's madness!
I don't think you
It's
would.
madness!
All right.
So, tell me a typical bit of dialogue.
Well, we've done the breakfast scene.
that was dynamite.
Yeah.
That's fucking Oscar winning.
Yeah, can we do lunch?
There may be, like, at the funeral, because even though the brain's still alive, they still have the funeral, and you can have, like, a funny bit where they stood around the grave, and, like, there's some relation there who he doesn't like, and she can start laughing, and the family are looking at her going, why is she laughing?
Yeah.
And she's sort of laughing, and he's saying something a bit rude, going, look at her head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Looks like a
Stuff on the
fucking
family.
Little cameo for you.
Yeah.
And so you have all that, and people are sort of liking the film, thinking, oh, it's quite funny, this.
Yeah.
And then you hit them hard.
It's the most ludicrous idea for film I've ever heard. It's the maddest. Honestly, it really is the ramblings of a mental case.
Right, I have to say though, I am hooked now. I want to know what's going to happen next in the story.
Then what happens is, she hears the voice go, Leslie, where are you? Something.
Right?
Her name's not Leslie.
No,
No.
So she's thinking, who's Leslie?
Yeah.
So in her mind, she's going, who's Leslie? He's going, oh,
So he's thought, hang on, I've let something slip.
I've
here.
let something slip. So she's going, answer me.
Oh.
He goes quiet on her.
Oh!
So
He was having an affair.
this is the thing. So she's trying to hunt down
Leslie.
Leslie.
And he's got to stop her thinking it.
Then what happens is, I mean, you know,
Where your Max?
So he's got to hunt down Leslie.
so she's got to hunt down Leslie.
It's a woman, is it? Another Leslie, or
It's
is it a
another
bloke?
woman.
Right.
But what happens is, I mean, without ruining the end for everyone, what
What
sort of happened is,
Oh yeah, because we don't want to ruin it for them, because this will be filling the multiplexes in no time.
No, it's the greatest love story ever told, set in a head.
but listen, let's just get to
hang
the
on a
end.
sec though, Carl. I don't. Yeah, you've got to tell us the end. I don't think you can let people
No, come on.
listening
Come on, what's
hanging
the
on
end?
waiting for the film.
Just let your mouth talk.
Right, so what I said was, maybe what happens is, his brain is more powerful than hers.
Right. How is there power? Why is there no power involved?
What I mean is, her brain was running the rest of her body.
Now he's
His
taken
brain,
over.
that gets more powerful and overrules her body.
Okay.
Yeah.
She then fancies Leslie.
So it's a lesbian
hold on,
film.
this is building up to a lesbian love. So what the?
Well, it's
what?
trendy, isn't it, that? So just have a bit of that at the end. And
So hold on. So he overpowers her. So she is now a lesbian. What's Leslie getting out of this? Why does Leslie think? Hold on. Why is my
Because-
dead lover's wife coming on to me?
because this is what I'm saying to you, it's relationships. It's the love of two brains.
Right. Okay. Again, can anyone
a
out there? Can we
strapline.
make that into it? That's a quote. The relationships is a love of two brains.
Well, it's-
now he's got something there. He's got something
Yeah.
there. But my point is this: why is Leslie suddenly turned lesbian?
Because she loves the brain.
But does she know this is Clive Warren?
Rebecca will say something now and again, like, "Oh, I like me
Minge.
I like my food done like this or whatever," and it's all about Dave
Cooked. I like
likes
my
it.
food cooked. Oh my! Wait a minute, Clive Warren on this food cooked.
Yeah, I'm in two minds about this bacon.
Yeah,
What
I'm
I
going
mean
to turn
is
into a lesbian.
People
Shredded wheat.
people like what they like, and it's the same way, like I've said to you before, with someone who's been going out with a woman, and then is found out that she's got a twin sister, and they divorce that first twin and go out with the other twin. It's all the same. You're after the same thing, aren't you?
Yes, but that.
When a cat dies, you buy another one. It's the same thing. You want that same.
Yeah, but you
love
don't
for
necessarily
something.
switch your sexual orientation. In the case of your twin scenario, they both look the same.
Yeah. Has there ever been one where it's a twin boy and girl? Go, well, I was going out with her, but I mean, he looks a bit like her.
Yeah, I loved boobs. Now I like cock.
This is your problem. You don't know anything. And this theory about if your mouth talks enough, the brain will kick in soon. It hasn't.
Oh, chimpanzee, that is raining down again.
Extracts from his famous diary. box jellyfish, crocodiles, snakes, blue ring octopus, red-black spiders, funnel web spiders, great white sharks. Just some of the reasons that put me off going to Australia. Every creature is bigger and angrier than anywhere else on the world. I put it down to two things. One, it could either be because spiders and snakes and the like normally hide under rocks. The Earth is one big rock. Australia's at the bottom of the big rock, and they're trying to hide under it.
Carl,
valid,
you
isn't
are
it?
a maniac.
It's just thinking about it, thinking about where spiders go and that works, doesn't it?
No.
Why doesn't that work like a
Because there's
rock?
no real upside down and bottom of the Earth, is it? It's all relative to what? It's relative to what? A map that you saw.
Well, it's a coincidence, isn't it?
No, right, okay, read on.
I've heard that a lot of people go camping in Australia, which I think's mental. If I was to fly all that way, I'd want a decent bed. Plus, I wouldn't be camping in a place where there are killer spiders wandering around.
I agree.
I've only been camping a few times, and each time I was glad when it was over. The last time was last year in Lyme Regis.
Yeah.
When did you go camping in Lyme Regis?
Last year. It's all right, Lyme Regis, but it was all a bit of a nightmare because I was going with my mate, and he said he knew someone who knew someone who had a bit of land in the garden.
We had a bit of land in the garden.
What's the point, though, innit? You know, what's the point of camping in someone's garden where there's a sort of like a spa down the road and like a pub?
No, because you're by the sea, aren't you? It's getting away from it all, seeing the world.
It's not if you're in someone's front garden.
No, back.
Oh, sorry.
Well, there's even less to see except 3 fences.
No, but it's private, isn't it? So the thing is, he said, oh, it's a great garden, the owners are away, and there's a toilet, an outside toilet that they have
Getting
for like
away
when they
from
have
it, innit?
parties
Yeah.
and stuff. So we get there, and this lad who knew about this bit of land,
Someone's back garden.
well, yeah, said, oh, you can't use it, they haven't gone on holiday.
So now you're stuck in the middle of a big civilised conurbation called Lyme Regis. How are you going to survive?
Well, we ended up just sort of keeping on the beach. But
Did you pitch your tent on the beach?
put the tent on the beach. We found somewhere where there was a load of rubbish. So we thought,
nice.
That's the place to go, yeah.
lovely.
No,
A
but
municipal tip.
What was it? Was it chemical waste or just like, you know...
no, just
Was
Coke
it just
cans and
syringes
stuff.
and...
lovely.
But listen, though,
Baby
you've got to
diapers,
think
sure.
about that.
Rusty,
If there's,
what's with rusty?
if there's rubbish there, it means it was a good place to camp.
Why?
Why?
Because other people have camped there.
Right.
So that's how you've got to look at it. It's like, it's a way, that's like a little tip of...
So you could have slept
first
in a
thing-
public lavatory.
Yeah. This one's nice. What? It's covered in shit. Means other people have had a shit here.
Welcome to our 5-star hotel. You'll notice vomit over all the fucking walls.
So that means people have had a good time here. They got right pissed up and threw their lungs up.
So that's where we put down the tent. We put down the tent there. And then
Some
what was
people put up
annoying
a
is...
tent, he puts down a tent.
We what's her name?
It was already up.
It was
carried
already
it all
they
the way
carried it
from
all the way
London.
there and they went, let's pack it down.
the weird thing was, as soon as we set up, some other people turned up.
Oh, that's all the rubbish tip. Holiday makers,
They started setting up their tents. And we're like,
Yeah.
oh.
No, look, there's some nappies over there.
Yeah.
Nearer the nappies.
And they offered us some sausages.
All right.
My mate said, oh, ignore them. That's like code for swingers.
What?
No!
What? So there were some people cooking some sausages,
Yeah.
saying, "Would you like the sausages? We've made too much." And you
It's
said,
just
"No,
that
that's
thing,
code
don't
for
talk
swinging."
to strangers. It's like we want to get away from it all.
Yeah.
We don't want someone, you know, it starts off with sausages, doesn't it? And then before you know it,
But what do these people look like?
they were about 45.
Who are they there?
A man and a woman.
A man and a woman. So what was in it for the bloke?
Some people like that, don't they?
No, I
I
mean,
don't know.
you say, right, I want the bald one, love. If it's like wife swapping, should one of you be a wife?
No, but I don't know all the rules and that. But
He's just got a real thing for fucking oranges.
and we didn't want any sausages anyway, so we just sort of
I
said,
don't believe sausages is a code for swingers. Because eventually, how many times do they give someone sausages and they go, well, get your pants off. And they go, well, we just have some sausages. They go, oh, this isn't working, this code.
But
we
why
need
would
a better
they be,
code.
Why would we be being offered sausages?
Because they're nice people and they're making sausages.
Makes you wonder.
We don't. Let's not trust these people. Let's move our tent nearer to the corpse.
So yeah, that was the camping.
September 30th. Going away with Suzanne's mum and dad. We're meeting them at Madeira Airport as they're flying in from Manchester. The plane was full and I had a headache. There was a baby sat behind us that was crying its eyes out for the whole flight. The mother of it said it was upset because its ears were hurting. So were mine.
Oh, God.
We went to try and find a supermarket. Suzanne's man was having a go at her dad because he didn't have a shirt on. She said he looks a mess and is embarrassed to be seen with him. It's their Ruby anniversary tomorrow.
That's why we went away.
Oh, yeah.
I bought a fan to put in our room to drown out the sound of the mopeds. I've heard Wayne Rooney does the same thing with a vacuum cleaner. What?
If you've just got a noise that's constant, it makes you nod off. And it drowns out every other background noise. So all you've got is, like, if it's a vac, it's just... And if that's constant for, like, all night, you just nod
People
off.
next door going, they've got their vacuum cleaner on again. But poke the chickens.
That's how nuclear wars start.
Yeah.
It works.
Doesn't work.
We
Earplugs, drown out everything.
I've tried them. I didn't like it, did I?
Why not?
Because I could hear my heartbeat.
Oh, you're such a strange little creature. Oh.
Didn't do much this morning. Just sat by the pool, saving insects that flew into it.
I'm gonna die like fucking Noah. That's amazing. Nothing good.
How were you saving them? Did you wait for them to hit the water, then fish them out, or you grabbed them in the air?
Stuck my finger on the top. They grabbed on, lifted it off.
And what, when some sort of insect lifeguard, you'd see someone land and you go, right, that's me, and you'd go in there.
But it's hard to turn a sort of a blind eye to stuff like that because you know that's something, you know, you're witnessing death. And if you can save something, you do, don't you? You do your bit. And at night, I'd sort of think, have they learnt the lesson or will they be back and will they be dead in here tomorrow? But if they can get an extra day, I've done my bit. I can't do more than that. I'm on holiday. Do your bit. I'm lucky enough to see the world. Do your bit.
I love it.
I did my bit.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that he was running around saving flies and things.
Is there something? There's something so sort of.
Meanwhile, an old lady drowned.
Yeah.
While he was saving a beetle.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Now, Carl, I know you're fascinated by the concept of the doppelganger, of seeing someone who looks exactly like you.
Yeah.
Jake has emailed in. He says, Carl, if you could spend a day with an exact replica of you, okay, so somehow they've cloned you, Carl, and you've got him for one day, what would you do with this? What would you make him do? What conversation would you have with him? What would you do? Is there anything you could, how would you utilise him for one day?
Well, they'd both say, I'm not bothered. And that'd be the end of conversation.
What would do me head in is, does it think the same way, look the same way,
Exactly
dresses?
the same.
Yeah.
How would I know which one I was?
Because you'd be you.
That's amazing.
No, no, no.
How would I know which
That's
one I was?
incredible.
No, because-
that is the most stupid thing ever said by a human being. Can we get the Guinness Book of Records on this? Has anyone anywhere in the world said anything more stupid than how would I know which one was me?
But think about it, this other person's going, all right, thanks for meeting up and that. And I go, hang on a minute, No, you came to me. And then Suzanne would come home and she wouldn't know the difference. And then suddenly you'd start doubting yourself. And you'd go, should I be leaving? Or... So, how do I know if I am that real one, if he knows what I know?
But you know who you are because you're experiencing
But he'd
it.
be saying that because he'd say, yeah, it is a bit weird.
But you know the truth, you idiot.
How would I know which one I was?
So anyway...
But bear in mind,
What would you do?
You could pass him off as yourself.
What would you do? Would you play tricks? Would you, you know...
You could be in two places at once.
Would you do stings? Would you do scams?
No, because it would only end up getting me into trouble, won't it? Because people won't believe that there's another one like me. Otherwise, everyone would be saying that when they get caught robbing. They go, oh, it wasn't me, it was my doppelganger. It can only... I wouldn't want it, to be honest. It's a bit of a headache, isn't it? Because he could be going off, going mental, causing all sorts of trouble, and you're going, will you pack it in? And he's going, what? What are you on about? But then that wouldn't happen, would it? Because he's being me, so he'd be sat wherever I am anyway. Because he'd want to do what I want to do. So, pointless. But I still wouldn't want it.
It's unbelievable.
That was a conversation with himself.
That was amazing.
That was like experiencing what it would have been like if there was two cars.
Yeah,
he was having a discussion with himself.
We could have left in that time and come back, and he'd be arguing still.
What does this mean? Does this mean though that I could just sit at home and not do anything, and just send me out on?
Yes.
And when he's seen something happen, I'm seeing it.
No.
You're separate people.
You're separate people.
But then he's not a doppelganger then,
Well,
is he?
you're identical twins then. You found out identical twins and he's got exactly the same input as you. I mean, it's not a real question, is it? It's just a little... Again...
But I said to you the other week about twins and that, how I wouldn't like to have a twin. It's all right when you're a kid, but unless you're a Siamese twin, even they don't even look alike, do they? They're just stuck together. You don't go, oh, don't they look like each other? They have different haircuts. They don't carry that thing on, do they? That normal twins do. Like normal twins, the mums say have the same haircut, wear the same shirt. Siamese twins never look the same. They've just got their arse stuck together.
Again, it's a dialogue in his own head. It's unbelievable. Okay, Carl. This is a logical conundrum. To a certain extent, there's a little bit of lateral thinking because, but there is only one right answer. Now, the pressure here isn't to get this right. The pressure is when I've told you the answer to then understand it. Because when I've explained this to people, I've laid out for them, they still can't quite get the concept. Okay, so there's two doors, Carl.
Yeah.
One leads to heaven, one leads to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, they're identical. You can't tell them apart. Okay, 50-50.
Right.
Obviously, you want to go to heaven, I assume. Right, there's two guards, identical guards, guarding each door. Okay?
Right.
The one guarding hell always tells a lie. The one guarding heaven always tells the truth. You have to ask one question to find out which is which, and then go through the door you want. What question do you ask?
I've only got one.
Yeah.
And what? One to both?
No, one to either of them. You don't know which one's which, though. So what question do you ask?
Why can't I ask, like, both of them one?
Because it's
Because
not the
rules are you can only ask one. There aren't actually two doors labelled heaven and hell, Carl. This is a leap of imagination here.
And I've definitely got to answer. I've got to ask them a question. I can't just sort of have a feel of the door to see if there's any heat or anything.
They're identical. You stand a few yards away. You cannot tell from the outside of these doors which is which. What question do you ask?
I can't look through the keyhole or anything.
There's no
Can't get anywhere
keyhole.
near them. Let's imagine there's a small rope that prevents you from getting anywhere near, rather like outside a nightclub.
Yeah.
So they stood there.
Yeah.
They both look the same. They're both smiling.
Yeah.
But one of them's not really smiling, really. He's trying to make me make a mistake, isn't he?
Well, he's just going to lie when you ask him a question, if you ask him.
So what's the point in asking a question? Do I know one of them's going to lie?
Yeah.
But would they be neighbours like this? Would they be that close? Why?
I mean, we're not sure if these two guys get on.
Okay, it's a logical... Well, I'll tell you the answer.
No, I want to see if he can get it. He's almost there. No, he's not almost there. What am I thinking?
So-
No, hang on. Right, so you go up and you
Yeah.
go,
Right, hang on. Well, look, let's imagine that. Let's imagine Ricky and I are those two guys. Okay, right?
But we have to. Well, me and Steve would decide which doors we're guarding. Okay.
Right.
I'm.
Look away, Carl.
Okay.
Right,
then.
so we've decided. Okay, one of us is guarding hell and one of us is guarding heaven. Which question you're going to ask and who you're going to ask it to?
Right. I'll just say to you, Steve. I'll go. Got some post for God here.
That's not a question. That's a statement.
Right, you've got some post for God here.
Well, that's not a question.
Yeah, but maybe the question's coming. You got some post for God here, yeah.
And it needs to be signed.
It's not a question. Still not a question.
No, let him finish.
Is God in? Because I need him to sign for this post. Is he in?
Well, I can answer that as well if you want.
Go on.
He's in. He's behind my door. Do you want to answer it?
Well,
Yes,
Do you
he's
want
in.
to get him? Just.
Well, no, you've only got one question.
So you're asking Steve, is God in? What's the answer?
Yes.
Ask me. Yes.
Look, lads, I'm just trying to do a job here. What am I going to do with this?
Well, give it to me and I'll give it to God because he's behind my door. Steve?
Yeah, give it to me and I'll take it into God because he's behind my door.
You're an idiot. Let me tell you the answer. I'm guarding hell, by the way. I'm the devil. Steve's God, okay? So you asked me what Steve would say if you asked him what door he was guarding, and I'm going to lie. I know he'd say heaven because he'd tell the truth, but I'm lying, so he'd say hell. So the question is, if I was to ask the other one what door he was guarding, what would he say? And whatever the person answers is the door they're guarding.
Steve, what door are you looking after?
Well,
Heaven.
yeah.
Why should I believe you?
Because you don't know. No, that doesn't work. Because you asked me the same and I'd say heaven as well.
Right, so who do I believe? This is where you use your gut feeling, though, isn't it? This is what life's...
Well, as opposed to the pure logic that Ricky's just used.
I just think because there's a lot of questions in life where you don't know the answer and you go, do you know what? I don't like the look of him. So...
They're identical.
Yeah, but they're still identical twins. You always get a little snidey one.
Oh, chimpanzee, that is written it down.
That's the jingle there for Carl's diary. Here we are. Spoke to Ricky and his friend Glyn about art. I just don't get it. Ricky had some odd pictures on his walls. I don't have any pictures up in my flat because of the mirrored wall. But I can't say I'm bothered. The mirrored wall, we should just explain what that is. When you moved into your flat, there was an enormous mirror on one wall. Was that right?
We just got this flat and, it's not a big flat. So I think the people who had it before us, he was a gay fella, right? Which was a bit like, oh, so you've been doing with that mirror and that. But that was...
What?
No, just,
What? What has he been doing with the mirror?
Well,
What's he
just
been
a
doing?
bit- No,
What?
it's just because they're quite sort of experimental in it, aren't they? And
I don't know. What do you mean? What do they do?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about it, but go on.
No, what do you want? What?
no, I don't.
Experimental in what
What do
way?
you mean experimental?
I just mean, they'd be doing stuff.
What?
Whatever they do.
Chemistry.
What?
Have a chemistry set out. They were doing experiments. What?
No, just doing what.
Singing I Am What I Am and just checking out
No,
the
each to
dance
their own. I'm
moves.
not having a go at anyone, but
What?
I'm just saying, like, they're doing what they're doing, which
Carl, you're
is
not
annoying as
homophobic,
well.
are you?
Because,
You're not
no,
st-
I'm not. I'm
Well-
not. This is why.
Why are you worried about what a little gay fella was doing in your flat before you got it in front of a mirror?
I wasn't worried about it.
Why
I
are
mean,
you thinking about what he was doing? Why are you fantasising what a little gay fella was doing in front of your mirror in your...
I'm not bothered. I'm just telling you why it was a bit odd that he had a mirror in there, right? But forget the history.
But you've got a mirror in there now, haven't you?
No, because what I did was I was going to take it down, and I thought, oh, it's a bit dangerous. This, it could crack and
Because it's the
fall on
size
me.
of the whole wall, isn't it?
It took up a whole wall,
Right.
So like when he's moving about everywhere, he's got a good view of it and that. But he's got this full wall of mirror, and I thought I can't take that down. And I thought, what can I do? So I've just put wallpaper on it,
Brilliant.
and it looks all right. You wouldn't know and what have you, but it means that I can't put any pictures up. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Because I've got a nail in it.
And what don't you understand about art? What about art don't you understand? The concept? Specifics?
No,
So-
that's like when we were in London having a shop around at Christmas, and there was that picture of fruit for 700 quid. It's like, well, just get some fruit. You know what I mean? You can get some real fruit for 3 quid.
Yeah.
I understand that, but don't invent cameras then, one or the other. Do you know what I mean? That's what annoys me. Someone invents something, And then they go, we've got to invent something else. Like the abstract thing. Why has someone gone, I can't have paintings anymore because...
Was it a Dali? Going, melting clocks and stuff? No?
I mean, the first one was all right when he did the first clock, but then all the time he's just like, I'll draw something and it's got a melting clock on it. I'll do a sheep, put one of them on it.
Have you seen his lobster telephone?
That annoys me.
Why?
Because I think what annoyed me more with that is when I heard about how it happened, he had some artist mate round, right? And I don't know what happened. They were eating.
That's a hell of an anecdote.
No, but they were eating. They were eating some food and what have you.
Yeah.
Lobsters?
And they were eating lobster.
Oh, right.
And
That's handy.
I don't know, the other artist, whoever it was, sort
Got a
of
phone?
started saying, you and your clocks and all that, right?
Brilliant.
And,
This didn't happen.
They started arguing,
Yeah.
and he chucked some of the lobster.
Bollocks.
And it landed on the
It
phone.
bounced off his mate's head, went on the phone, and they both looked at each other like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And they brought out that phone as a bit of art. Things like that annoy me. Because
happen.
it was them just messing about.
That didn't happen.
Just telling you what I know. I saw his work. Each to their own, if that's what he's doing. I'm just saying, I'm not putting my stamp of approval on it. Art should be there to tell a story, not just to have a splash of colour.
Well, Suzanne like some art. Just like Suzanne's not allowed to watch telly unless it's a favourite thing. Otherwise, she's got to talk to me about stuff. There's no art. There's no point. Just wallpaper.
I'm just saying, we've got three windows we can look out of.
Right.
Right? Stop looking at the walls. Look out the window.
My mum phoned and said that my Auntie Nora, the classic Auntie Nora, wanted me to look on the internet to find out what the weather would be like in Spain at the end of November. I don't know where she gets her money from. 2 months ago, she was asking me dad how much it would be to get her back garden astroturfed because she's sick and tired of the grass getting out of
What does
hand.
she want to do? Start a football team? What does she want to back garden AstroTurf?
She likes the sort of green look, but she doesn't like the headache that comes with it, so she's just looking into getting that false grass put in there.
Brilliant.
Don't know how much it is. But.
Went round to Ricky's and had some chicken curry that Ricky's girlfriend Jane had made. Ricky and Jane were going on holiday for a few days and had arranged for Glyn to come in and make sure the cat was okay while they were away. I'm sick of that cat. I was surprised that they hadn't paid for the little shit to go away with them on first class. Blimey, getting a bit vitriolic in the diary.
Why doesn't he like the fact that I've got a cat and I love the cat? Why?
It's just everything in that house that you've got gets sort of special treatment, and it's a cat. And it
What do you mean you
annoys
get
me.
special treatment?
Sometimes
We put food down for it, and sometimes it gets on our lap and we stroke it.
You don't just stroke it.
We're
You
not sending
massage it. You massage its back. You go, no, you're stressed out.
Well,
You're
no, it's
stressed
good.
out."
No, I'm not saying you stressed out. At no point did I say you stressed out. You said, "What the fuck are you doing for? Is it stressed out or something?" I like touching my cat.
To be honest with you, I don't like Ricky's cat.
I can't believe
Because every time I go around there, it goes straight from the ghoulies.
But it's like the lizard thing you've got. It's just sat there. You've bought a big box, right, to be in.
Right,
And the
one,
last
it's a salamander, so it's an amphibian. It's
Yeah.
not a box, it's a big vivarium.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
And
is...
and if you're going to criticise someone for just sitting there, having a round head and doing nothing with its life, people who live in glass houses,
No,
we've
but
done this one.
Do you know what gets me though, right, Steve? When I was there, I was looking at it and I thought, is it dead? Right, because he's just sat there. Like,
And it was thinking exactly the same fucking
It's sat
thing.
there, not moving, right? And then on the top of the box is like a box full of crickets and stuff. That's it. It's its food.
Yeah.
Right? But they were more active than the thing that it was going to feed. Get rid of the lizards. Keep them in there. More entertaining. Don't understand it.
A few months back, a girl who was having a kid showed me one of them scans of the kid that was in her. That's science gone mad, innit? I couldn't think of anything nice to say, as it looked like a frog.
Do you know why we've got to that point? What? Why have we got to see something that young? Why?
Because people can keep an eye on the progress of the baby in the womb.
Yeah, but why are they printing it out and stuff? Surely that's for a doctor to see.
Well, that's just an added bonus for people who are interested in such
But that's
things.
like saying, why do you take pictures of anything?
No, but what I mean is, why? At what point are we going to stop? Are we going to start sort of X-raying the fella's testicles and saying, well, there it is at a really young age?
Well,
Where are we going to stop?
it's just horses for courses, isn't it? Some people like to have a record of their baby in the womb. They
That's
like
right.
to show their baby. They're
They sit
excited
there-
about it.
They sit down and they show the friends the slideshow. That's
go.
the birth. Oh, that's the conception. Oh, look, Ron's going a bit mad there, isn't he?
But why do I need to see this? This is what I'm saying. It was an awkward situation because she was happy with it. I was like, oh, God. You know what I mean? It was an odd-looking thing. I couldn't say, oh, it looks like you, because that would be a diss.
Well, Rick, you're not the only one who's been away. I know you've been off working, but I, at long last, have taken a bit of leisure time.
Go on.
And you've probably heard of the Rio de Janeiro Carnival. Only one of the hottest events in the world calendar.
Yeah.
Imagine me down there.
Oh,
Rio,
God.
you can imagine, did not know what hit it.
Oh, God almighty. Imagine, were you like Paul the Party Animal Parker?
He would not have been able to keep up if he was with me.
God, what did you do? What did you get up to?
Oh, let me tell you right now. Day one, I almost drowned. Day two, I got a foot infection and spent the day in the hospital. And the rest of the time, I had diarrhea. So that was a hell of a time.
Carnival.
Yeah. I did. I was able to watch some of the carnival on TV, and it looked brilliant. It looked
Did it?
amazing. I didn't actually. It was difficult to make out because the TV wasn't actually in my room. Because in an effort to save money, I wasn't staying in a hotel. I was staying with a bunch of other people in some kind of like someone's flat that they'd let out, and so I had to watch the TV like from my window, watching a neighbour's TV. And of course, when they change the channel, often during the juicy bits, I couldn't see anything. And but it looked really good. I'm bunged up at the moment just so I can get through the show. But I've just been on a 12-hour flight, and it is terrifying being on a flight when you know that any moment you could go. Because how the problem is sometimes the toilet's free, and sometimes you've got to queue up. And the worst bit is that sort of half an hour just before you land, when they say the toilets are out of bounds now. I'd say I went twice before that in quick succession. The woman sat next to the toilet. She didn't know what was going on, the noises and stuff in there, and I was really panicky.
Oh, Christ!
And so of course then on the whole flight, as we're landing, I'm really petrified because I'm thinking this could. I packed a pair of underpants and jeans in my bag in the holdall. Just in case it all went. And I was really, because I hate flying anyway, and I hate landing because it's the most terrifying moment of the journey. Then it really was rumbling, and I was thinking, I got to get out of here. Of course, you know when you're in a hurry, everything makes you angry. The little old lady in front of me who's just hobbling along off the gangplank.
Yeah.
Just really annoyed.
With your bad hips and your bad
and
legs.
your Zimmer frame.
I know you've been through a war, but get out of my way.
Yeah. And just anyone who kind of even passes you, and so I managed to get there just in time. Got into and it all went off. Man alive, it was grim. But that was not anything compared with the first couple of days. Because the first day I went for a walk. Ipswich Beach is famous for just the beautiful, beautiful people that gather there. There's so many beautiful women in Rio. It made me angry. I was angry that these women were so attractive and that none of them were even looking at me. So, but anyway, I'm on the beach because I was shopping and I needed a wee. Right, and we went for a quick impromptu swim, and I thought, wee in the sea.
Just think of him on this beach, right, with diarrhea.
Well, I'm wearing great big long shorts because I'm not going to try and compete with these boys because they are.
And you are, could I say this, the whitest man
Yeah.
I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, with his shirt off, you can see his heart like a newborn fish.
Well, this was the thing. As I went into the sea to have a wee, there was a discussion about this.
As I went into the sea to have a wee in a little tray.
You see, there was a discussion about this because I'm very much of the opinion that you should take your trunks down. And some people, some of my friends are saying, just do it in your trunks and let the sea just wash it away.
What a hell of a carnival.
And I think I'm against that. I've always been against that in swimming pools, everything, So
I'm against pissing in swimming pools, full stop. It doesn't matter whether you take your trunks down or don't piss
But
in the
what about
swimming
in the
pool.
sea?
Yeah, well, fine, yeah.
Fine, okay, right,
Fish do it.
So anyway, I'm in the sea trying to urinate, and I kneeled because I'm obviously very tall, so it's tricky to get deep enough for the water to mask what you're up to. So I tried to kneel down in the water, right, and I got John Thomas out, but then the water swept out again and just left me on the beach. But luckily my back was to everyone, so no one saw. I
can't think of a funnier sight than Steve Merchant on his knees with his little John Thomas out. I don't know how big it is. I've never seen it. But I imagine it's in proportion to the rest of it, is it?
I wish. That's all I'll say is I've been a little shortchanged. But so then I got up and I waded a bit deeper in, right? And now I was trying. I got it out. But what I didn't realise is that the waves just off the beach are really just uncontrollable. You never know what's going to happen. So suddenly, I see this giant wave coming towards me, crashing towards me, and I got the cock out and everything, and it grabs this wave, comes over me, and lifts me up, flips me up in the water, right? And I'm floundering around. I can't see anything because, of course, I had to take my glasses off to go in the sea because I didn't want to lose them.
Oh God!
So I floundering around, and I'm genuinely getting scared because as I try to get into shore, the wave just pulls me back again. So I'm waving to my friends on the beach. But
With everything.
Well, what I don't realise is that because I'm not wearing my glasses, I don't realise that I've been dragged along the beach some way, and I'm not actually waving to my friends. So there's like a bunch of these beautiful women on Ipanema Beach watching a pasty white man waving with his cock out. And what annoyed me was my friends were laughing, and that
Steve,
really angers
if
me.
I'd have been there, I would have burst.
But why wouldn't you have come running? Would you have come running in to help me?
Oh, I couldn't have saved you with your glasses off and your knob out. If I ever save you, I want you to be fully dressed with your glasses on.
So you'd have just let me go. That would have been what you'd said to my parents. He had his knob out and his glasses off. There was no way I was going to...
I can't think of a funnier sight. Oh.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Carl, I've got a couple of little facts for you, just to try and inflame your imagination.
Go on.
Sharks are immune to cancer.
Are they?
Yeah.
So how have they found that out?
Well, I don't know, but
I've never heard of any fish having cancer though. I haven't heard of a cod being ill. So why are we focusing on that one?
good point. Okay. Stroking a spider can cause its hair to fall out.
What? Because it doesn't like it and it gets stressed out, or is it just that some people are rubbing too hard?
No, I don't think it's they're rubbing too hard. I think it's something to do with it. I mean, what sort of maniac is stroking a spider anyway?
My mum did it once.
Really?
Yeah, not to a spider.
Right.
It was just a little bee. She'd been out, sunny day and that. Got the washing off the washing line. She was bringing it in. Little bee sat on the top of like the bed sheet or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she's in the kitchen with it, and she goes, "Look at that little bee there." She started sort of stroking its head. It loved it.
How did it make it clear that it loved it?
Well, it wasn't struggling. It was just sat there like, because it must have been like a bit dozy. They get a bit dozy, don't they, in the heat and that. And it just stayed there on the sheet, and she sort of stroked its head for a bit, and she had to put it out. It didn't go out. It didn't try and escape. It was like, "You've had enough now." That was that. She sent it out. She loved all that. She loved little flies and stuff, and we had our really house fly.
What?
It's Harry the housefly.
What do you mean?
It's just a fly that always seems to knock about in one corner of the room.
Right, it's the same fly, was it?
Yeah, it was the same fly. Yeah.
How do you know it was the same fly? So whenever she saw a fly, she went, oh, look, it's back.
Well, we weren't letting him in. It's just that it stayed in.
Carl, what makes you think it was a pet housefly as opposed to a different fly every day?
Because it was always in the same place, in the corner.
But it could have been that something about that particular place that attracted flies rather than it was the same fly.
Well, I'm never worried about it. It wasn't harming us. It just always hung about.
But how do you know it was the same fly? How do you
I don't
recognise
know.
it?
We weren't worried about it. It doesn't matter, does it? If like we're thinking another fly's getting a bit of free rent or something, just let it stay. I don't understand why.
But why? No. Right. Okay. You're in a house, right? There's flies. Okay.
Not flies, fly.
What? Why do you think it was the same fly for all those years?
Just because we haven't got loads of other flies. At no point was there a crossover period where there's two, and it's like, hang on a minute, he's trying it on here. That's what I mean. It was always just one on its own. And we just thought, leave it, it's all right. I don't know why are you suspicious? Why you always think someone's out to do you?
No. I don't know why you assumed when you see a fly every now and again that it's exactly the same fly.
It just
In fact,
was.
that it's Harry.
The one in our house was the same one.
How do you know?
Well, all right, I don't, but at no point did I feel suspicious. Speaking of flies, though, and that, they've got one, right? I was out with Ricky, right, and he was reading the paper. There was a story there about a fly that its eyesight was bad or something, and they've made it a pair of glasses, and it had a picture of a housefly wearing.
Okay, this is incredible, Steve. Can I take over?
Hang on, let me just need to finish a couple of questions for that. So there's a small fly and they've made it a pair of glasses
Yeah.
so that it can see better.
Yeah.
And your concern is what?
Well, again, it's just that thing of we're looking after everything now, aren't we?
Sorry, I've got to come in here, Steve.
All right.
I showed you the story.
You saw it.
It was a picture of a housefly
Fly,
with a pair of glasses
on. Yeah.
Right. It was about a one-sentence thing. It was about how far technology's come.
Yeah,
And
and
a
we're
group
helping
of
flies
scientists
out.
using microscopy, right, and laser tools had, as an exhibition, shown that they could make a pair of glasses smaller to fit on a hat. They put it on there and they'd taken a picture of it and it's on display. At no point was it actually, because the fly had bad eyesight, the fly was presumably dead, it was purely an art installation or a show of technology.
I thought you were going to say, Rick, that you'd drawn the glasses on there.
Yeah.
And he believed it like, there's a bearded lady in this paper. No. My God, Tony Blair looks like Adolf Hitler. No.
What do you think of that, though?
But they did
We're
it as an
helping flies
experiment.
Yeah, but all things start as an
But
experiment.
why would they make a pair of glasses for a fly?
How would they know he had bad eyesight?
How would they know it was the same fly?
bumping into stuff? I don't know.
Bumping into stuff.
It's just that thing, innit, of human nature is something's wrong with something, let's fix it. And they try and help people out all the time, don't they? When you know, we're always doing it. We're always trying to help people out instead of just going, you've been dealt a duff card, cope with it. Came up with a good idea.
We'll be the judge of that.
I do it now. It's not a good idea.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sticking my neck out here. I think this isn't going to be a good idea.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Well, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to second that motion.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we're both right.
See-through skin.
High five, Rick.
We've had a few emails about the old shows. People came into them late in the season.
Did I not tell you this? We had an email from an Inuit.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I'd mentioned this. Have we not mentioned this before?
No.
No, it was an email from a guy who said, I don't think he lives in Canada, I think, or somewhere else. I apologise if I'm getting that wrong. But I think he said he was half Inuit and he listens to the show.
Half Inuit? See, that's interesting because I think it was so remote. I know I'm probably wrong now, but I think that those are so remote that I can't think where they're meeting people who aren't
That are also Inuit, yeah.
Oh, and who's going, other societies are going, I'll tell you what, I'm fed up, there's no action now, I'm going to the frozen tundra, I'm bound to meet someone there.
Yeah.
Where do they meet? Do they do online dating? What
Probably a lot of online stuff.
do you put as hobbies? Fishing?
Yeah. Skinning stuff.
Skinning stuff, yeah. What stuff to skin?
Seals.
Seals, yeah, sure. That's about it, isn't it?
Why are they hanging about round there? Why aren't seals going, do you know what, it's cold, I'm sick of it here. It's windy all the time, what have you, and I'm getting a club on the head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're meant to be quite bright in terms of animals and that, aren't they?
Yeah.
So why are they knocking about them parts?
I don't know.
Say, like, if seals died out, right, would that be a problem?
We've done this.
We've been through this before, Carl.
Everything has a knock-on effect.
Even a seal, that's sort of in between something already. It's between a fish and a dog, isn't it?
I knew you were going to say dog.
It's not between a fish and a dog. What do you think evolution does? Fish to
I'll never
dog.
understand it. Maybe
What do you mean it's between a fish and a dog?
I'm just saying it's.
It was a perfectly evolved mammal that re-entered the water, I imagine, and then got streamlined. And I mean, it's between a fish and a dog.
But why not have one and the other? Why not have, like, you know, you've got a dog, you've got a fish.
No, it's not
anything in the
between a
middle.
fish and a dog. It's not between a fish and a dog. I don't know what between means. I don't know what...
This is it again about saving everything all the time. What is it doing? What's it doing? Everyone's feeling sorry for him all the time. Save the seal and all that. What's it doing? Why are we saving it? Let's just ask that question. What's it doing?
I don't know what to say. It's between a fish and a dog.
Out of all the people in the world to have a chat with, do you know, what's his face? That German doctor.
Which one? The guy that displays the human body?
Guns Traven or something.
All right, yeah.
Well, I don't. Is he a proper doctor? Because it's just that it's always. I mean, I could cut a body up. I never see him sort of put it back together. Is anyone keeping an eye on him? Sort of going, well, who is he actually?
I'm sure he is a proper doctor.
I mean, he doesn't answer everything. Like, he doesn't say. I don't understand why the intestines have to be that long. I don't know why it just can't go from the throat to the belly, exit, straight dark line down, out the arse.
You must know.
Well, no, because the way he dragged it out and it was like miles long.
Yeah.
Pointless.
No, it's not pointless.
Just have a straight. Do you know what I mean? Straight.
What are you talking about? Again, the evolution sort of worked this out for us. It really works.
I don't think you're going to improve on it.
What I mean is that's probably that long because years ago they were eating dinosaur, and that might have took a lot of indigestion or something. I don't know how chewy it was. It might have been quite fatty, dinosaur meat, and it needs to go through all that. Now we're eating like yogurt. So I mean, we don't need anything that, you know, is doing that much work anymore. All the food is mashed up. Auntie Nora, right? All her food is mashed. Right? She doesn't have to chew anymore. She's got teeth, but she doesn't need them. And that's how
She's got teeth, but she don't need them.
No, but that's how we're
she could have
moving
her
on.
intestines removed then.
Well, no, but this is
That
what
would
I'm
sort
saying.
our other problem, wouldn't it?
We're changing everything all the time, aren't we? I mean, there's some fella who was looking at on the internet, identical twins, right? They were sort of sick of looking like each other, so they were like, "What can we do?" Right? And one of the twins said, "You have my arm," right? And he had his arm taken off and stuck on his twin, so his twin's got like 3 arms.
No, it's not true.
It's on the website.
No, it's not true.
What, for a laugh? They were born, so
what,
they did that for
No,
a
but
laugh.
just like-
what doctor's doing this then?
Well, they're old enough to sort of say this is what we want, and
No. Doctors don't go, well, if he wants another arm, and I'll take it. They don't. Doctors don't do that. What sort of practice is this doctor going around and go,
Dr. Jekyll.
I mean, Carl, think of what you're saying.
but we've-
where would he have stopped? Can you put his head on my knee? It's up to you.
No, but
Sign this. If you sign this, you give my consent.
but we, you know, it isn't
What do you think these doctors are doing?
just to do as they're told.
They don't do as they're told.
They do if someone wants it, and twins sort of, it can get you down, can't it? Being a twin, because it's like,
Sorry, what would this solve, though? I thought you said he gave one of them a bigger nose or a beard or 2 front teeth to make him look different, right? Not... I'll tell you what we could do. Go on. Would you like 1 arm? Go on, what are you thinking? Well, me 3, you 1, therefore not twins.
Novelty.
I mean, you are a mental man.
but they can do it now, can't they? There's no sort of, there's no line drawn anymore. They don't go, "You're crazy, we're not going to do that."
Yeah, in Saw 2, not in the real world.
No,
they
but-
don't do things like
All right,
this.
there's another bloke, right? I don't know the sort of full ins and outs of it,
Go on, you surprise me.
but what he asked for, something happened to his his tackle. Right?
It's penis.
Yeah, right. So he was at the doctor's, and they were like, "Oh, what can you do for me? It's a bit embarrassing. I've got nothing down there." Right. So they were like looking at it, going, "Yeah." Doctor, I don't know if he started like rubbing his chin with his finger or something. Looked down. He's thinking, got an idea. You've got a lot of fingers. How many of them do you use? The patient's like, yeah, I see what you're thinking. They cut off one of his fingers, sewn that on to where his tackle is. He's happy.
Well, that's different though, isn't it?
Well,
That's where they've
really
taken
different.
tissue. No, but I assume they fashioned it into more of a knob than a finger.
If you were doing that, use a sausage. I mean, why lose a finger for?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because your finger has your tissue, your blood type, and therefore would graft near your testicles. A sausage is a thing that's made by a butcher out of offal, okay, that really can't be grafted onto any part of the human body. That's why they very rarely use any meat products in surgery. I know, yeah. I mean, why not use a sausage? You're a mental case.
I always remember this story when I was a kid about some bloke. He had throat cancer, right? And his doctor said, carry on with your life, right? It's not going to be that good, but just carry on. But don't eat meat. And he was like, I love meat. He's like, yeah, but just don't, have your veg, keep yourself strong, but don't be eating that. Anyway, he was fed up because he loved his meat, and his wife was feeling a bit sorry for him one day. And thought, I'm sick of him looking fed up and that. All he wants is some meat, for God's sake. Give him some meat. So she goes to the butcher's, gets him a big piece of, steak and what have you. He can't believe it. He's like, oh, brilliant, cheers for that. Anyway, he's got the meat on his plate, just about to tuck in, and the cancer comes out from his throat.
What?
No, it's something, I know, it sounds really weird, but it's something that I was told about years ago when I was growing up.
What are you talking about?
It was just some bad illness, some cancer thing, and it was coming out waiting for the meat. It was sort of dying.
Again, I get a lot of your medical knowledge is from...
It's from the film Alien.
So this guy with throat cancer, okay, as opposed to it being a disease of the cell...
It was like a living...
The Alien. It was Alien.
So it was the animal... It was the little animal cancer.
That's why
he wasn't allowed to eat
about? Meat. He wasn't allowed to eat meat.
So it's sitting there. So it's actually sitting there and throwing. Well, I'll tell you what I'd have done if I'd have had some cancer in my throat. I'd go, there you go. Rid of that. What are you talking about? So what happened?
He choked to death on this thing, and the wife was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have given him the meat after all." Just
That's a bollock story.
It's all. There's loads of weird stuff like that happens in medical stuff.
Well, the terrible thing is, if you got testicular cancer and you eat meat, your bollocks come out of your trousers and they're all over the plate, and you have to be asked to leave the restaurant.
Oh, chimpanzee, that is only gonna bring it down a little.
That's the jingle for Carl's diary, excerpts of which we read each week. Get straight into it. A band from the Conga have won the Best Newcomers in a Radio 3 competition. They use pots and pans for instruments. It says that the Conga is a poor, sad place. So why do people do that happy dance at the end of parties called the Conga?
Right, one is the Congo. There's no place called the Conga. They come from a place called the Congo. Now you're such a...
Met Suzanne at Euston Station. I said I would sort out the tea tonight, so I called the curry house. The fella couldn't understand me. I asked for 2 poppadoms. He kept saying, how many? I kept saying 2. He still couldn't understand. I said 1 more than 1. He understood. When we picked up the food and took it home, there were 5 poppadoms in the bag.
Oh, God.
There is a restaurant somewhere that sells knobs to eat.
No, there's not.
There is.
No, there's not.
No, there is.
It says that women can't eat too many of them, and if you want a seal's knob for dinner, you have to book in advance.
Right, it's gobbledygook. This is the ramblings of a madman again.
It's a trend, he writes. It won't last long. It'll be like hummus. Called Ricky and asked what the difference is between the mind and the brain.
Yeah, he did.
That's a hell of a phone call to get.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ricky did explain, but I can't remember what he said. I wondered at what age you are when the mind kicks in. Okay. Ricky changed the subject and said there is an island called Spider Island. There's nothing but spiders on it. A bloke went to visit the island and said there was 1,000 types of spider in one tree.
What do you think about that? What do you think of an island that's just full of spiders?
I don't know, because you need spiders. I don't know what they do, but they say a world without spiders wouldn't be good. But they sort of do something. There's something about if you did get rid of them all, it would have an effect.
Well, of course it would. Get rid of anything, it would have an effect.
Not everything, though. Like I've said, jellyfish and what have you.
Well, no.
It's 97% water or something.
Yeah.
So how much are they doing? Just give them another 3%, make them water. And that's more useful.
Give them another 3% and make them water. Oh, God.
Went into the gadget shop today. It's full of stuff that we don't need. Gadget used to be a good word that made you think of James Bond with all his gadgets. The best thing I could find in the shop was a clock that ran on potatoes. We are definitely going backwards.
I agree. Well, who cares about that? A little electrical impulse, so what?
Had a night out with old schoolmate. Found out about more of the other lads I went to school with. One is living underground.
What do you mean living underground? Not like a mole. Do you mean he's got a basement, or do you mean he digs a hole every night?
My mate went to visit him and he said it had been raining really heavily and that, and it's all the rain's running in.
What do you mean he went to visit him? He went down here? What's that? That's an hole in the ground. Yeah, come in.
He just said, "Oh, come round to us," and he's living underground.
What do you mean he's living underground?
He's happy down there. He said it was really muddy and what have you. He said he won't be going back to visit him.
I believe this, though. I believe someone he went to school with now lives in a hole. That doesn't shock me.
You spent far too long with him, if that, now you're just happy to accept.
I totally accept that. I'd be surprised if I walked round where he lived that there weren't more people living in holes. His dad wanted to throw his budgie on the fire.
True.
His budgie died, his dad said, let's throw it on the fire. I mean, his mum, what did your mum do?
She just was worried about the other bird that was left, so she made it a bit of company by getting a rock, getting a feather off the dead budgie, sticking it on the rock, putting it in the cage.
So, a man living in a hole is not
unusual.
that bizarre. Right, carry on.
Watched a film about Hitler. Didn't watch all of it as it was subtitled. Can't be doing with that. Asked Suzanne if cinemas are full of deaf people when they're showing subtitled films. She said, shh, I'm trying to watch it. I said, what do you mean, shh? It's subtitled, I can make as much noise as I want.
Yeah.
She's a lucky, lucky woman.
You must be a joy to watch a subtitled film. I mean, the concentration is up there already. It's not as easy as when you're hearing it, because you read things, but it's possible. If you had a buffoon going, I'm just going to sit here and make as much noise as I want, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Do that in a cinema. Just walk into a subtitled film and go, right, everybody, let's all do the Congo.
We're having our bathroom done. The bathroom man was round at 9 this morning. We weren't allowed to use the shower because it all had to be bone dry before we could use his waterproof filler. Not that waterproof then. Went for a brew with Ricky. We talked about monkeys and how they are closer to humans than they are to apes, and how bees will drink cider to get off their heads. Now and again there is a bee that lets the drinking get in the way of the work, and other bees sting it to death. Blimey.
Yeah, well, there are bees. They love a drink, and they will drink pure alcohol. They love getting off it, and they fall down and they're drunk, right? But some bees get addicted in the same sort of percentage as human addiction. Like 10% of bees, they can't get enough of it. They take ethanol, they take cider apples and that, and then when they get back to the hive, they go in a bit pissed, and they've got guard bees, and they go, come on, we've all had a drink.
Bouncers.
Yeah, they sort of are, right? And they push them away, and they push them away again. Then the next time they go, right, I've had enough, and they give it a good hiding. And Carl couldn't get over this. I saw his face, but I knew that he was thinking of that bee with sort of like eyes rolling around his head, a little bit belligerent with his jacket on backwards.
Yeah.
And the bouncer going, come on, son, we've all had enough. Let's move away,
Yeah.
move away.
You're not coming in, right? You're wearing trainers.
Yeah, you're wearing 3 pairs of trainers, and I'm sick of it.
But what I did find out, because I went home and went on the computer trying to find out about drunk bees knocking about, they're not actually meant to fly. It's only because they don't know.
Fly.
Well, no, but they're if they were told that you're not actually designed to fly, they wouldn't bother.
No, this is that thing that goes around that aerodynamically, on the face of it, looking at the size of the wings and the body proportions and everything, that it's a surprise that they can fly. Okay, it's not that. No one's ever told them they can't, and as soon as someone tells them you're not meant to fly, they all fall out of the sky going, "Oh, what are we doing?" Like in a cartoon.
No, but it's something about the confidence and that. At the moment, nobody's saying
It's nothing to do
them-
with the confidence. There is no such thing as confidence in bees. A bee never loses its nerve. That's not why it drinks. Because what are you drinking for? I'm just not confident anymore. There's no point to turn to the bottle. I can't go up there again. You're an idiot.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing.
Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
I should start by just saying, Carl, that the natural world is so diverse that we don't even know how many species there are. With plants and animals, there could be up to 10 million species. There are 37,000 different species of spider alone. What do you think of that?
It's a lot.
It is, isn't
A
it?
lot. But if there's loads of stuff out there that we don't know about, and we don't know what it's doing, is it that important? Is it worth finding them now?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Well, it may give us the key to unlock other mysteries.
A spider won't.
Well, it might do.
A spider won't be unlocking
Well,
any
that-
mysteries.
well, that's
what I mean is the police know about the gangsters, but
Right.
they go, right, we're aware of them, let
Right.
them get on with it. We'll keep our eye on them. And it's the same in the jungle. The spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of, the ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very
I'd
surprised.
be surprised if there was
It
something...
sounds like laziness on your part.
But they're
No,
discovering
it's
new
not.
species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to. We live in
No,
a
we
world
don't.
now. We do. We know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new
look-
butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean it's not a
la-
natural
ladybird.
thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years, going, I'll wait till the 1980s and I'll come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural
new thing. It's
Yeah,
new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? Evolutionary terms. There's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top, right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the
Because-
way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think someone in the 1900s had said everything that's going to be invented has been invented, and then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that,
Right.
that you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need it.
Yeah, but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who
but
said he's up there with Einstein?
His
one of-
PR people
In one of
did.
those programmes where they did, like, great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson. And they started to run out, because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed, remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well,
that I can
somebody-
put bread in.
yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shake it like
Necessity
that,
is the
and
mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, "Where's a loophole in the market? Where's a
Well,
niche?"
here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right.
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I'd just been beaten to the post.
I met a bloke on a conference once who sent a drawing to Blue Peter. It was their designer car of the future, and he sent them a drawing that was a car, and the only innovation was that you can have a shit while driving. And then he put shit goes down pipe, which becomes fuel. They must have looked at that and gone, what a maniac.
I think that's a brilliant... I mean, I've driven a long way. I drove to Cornwall recently, and I would have loved...
But I think he did it when he was
lavatory built
about
into the
9,
seat.
and he must have thought, oh, I'm being driven to school. Oh, I need the toilet. Wouldn't it be good?
But
if
why
this-
hasn't that been done?
What?
Well, like Steve says, I've been in the same situation when you're driving and you go, oh, where's the service station? You see a sign saying 36 miles.
So what?
You're in agony.
So you suggest pull your trousers down and shit down in the seat that's a toilet?
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
Well, you got your nan in your back.
She's got one as well.
So you are going to Cornwall all shitting.
Well, not all the time, but it's more useful to me than a lighter.
So also, at
Where
what
do you
point
wash
do
your
you
hands?
wash your hands or
Yeah.
wipe your arse? At what point does that occur?
Oh,
At the
that's
end of the journey.
Oh, God! So you get in, you have a shit at Deptford, and you wipe your arse at Polperro.
Yeah, but like I've said to you, this isn't like just people going, oh, I think I'll have one. You need one? Not really, but it's something to do, innit? I'm sick of playing I Spy, I'm having a shit. You have it when you really need one. When you have to pull off a motorway, it's a lot of messing about. It's probably going to be a queue at the toilet. No more queues at toilets.
10-minute break that takes, doesn't it? 10
know,
minutes
yeah.
to pull
10
off, have
minutes.
a quick shit.
Driving along, it's just going on. It's just going on. Don't even know about it. Radio's on, everyone's happy. Doesn't matter. I don't know, I mean, we all do it as well, that's the thing.
Anything else you'd come up with?
There's so many things, chocolate fountain, anything like that. I just go, what are these? Who's invented these? Who's okayed this idea? And yet I can't have a shit on the motorway.
Think of computers.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever? Well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well,
it's astounding, yeah.
So
With-
you
with-
think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You'd go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't
Carl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, They go, yeah, wheels, we've got them. Yeah, steering wheel. Yeah. And then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find
Carl,
it's sand.
But the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that, what am I talking about, sand makes computer chips, that silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen. But
that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
It comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Carl. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different.
Animal rights is a hot topic.
It's a big issue.
What rights should they have? We test drugs on animals, and we're basically saying if they die, they die. We'll learn something from them. People do make distinctions between animals' rights. They know that it's probably more acceptable to kill an ant than
Punch a cow.
Yeah, exactly.
I told you, didn't I, about me dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
No,
right.
that's
Wait
not
a minute.
true.
We've
It's not
never
true.
heard this before. How have we had all these years
No,
of
I'm sure
monkey
I
news and we've
told you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had like odd sort of pets, and
When?
that, didn't they? In like about 68.
Oh,
In
1968,
1968.
when everyone had a monkey.
Where you had to thump it. Now the weird thing is,
No, that's weird enough.
Is this all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it.
yeah, my dad told me about it when he found out that I was into monkeys. He said, "Oh, Benny thumped one," and
Benny thumped one. Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, "You thumped a monkey."
Yes, they do. They do go, "You thumped a monkey."
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
But this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human, I mean, in the 70s, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
Then
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere. People go, "That's unfair." Now
They-
they're in like a cage in a zoo. You're going, "It was better when I was pushing a piano up a stairs."
They weren't really.
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going, okay, now at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van
And
for a
we were,
living?
and we were on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. Cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey. When I was about 13, 14, I once tried to improve the animal kingdom by making the hardest animal ever, the most perfect animal.
Now, just to clarify, you didn't, in sort of Frankenstein style,
No.
try and bolt various bits of animals together.
It was a drawing that I sent to Blue Peter. There was no competition going on.
You just thought they would be appreciative.
I thought they'd look at that and they'd go, well, he's a genius.
Yeah.
This is like Da Vinci.
Sure.
And this is the animal. This is what I thought, the perfect animal. I mean, when I say perfect, I meant the hardest animal. This
Right.
animal, it could take anything. It was just the strongest, hardest, fastest. Right.
Yeah.
So, I started with the head of a lion.
Of course, that makes
Do you know what I mean?
perfect sense.
It looks good. Bite you, right? Okay. I popped that on the body of a rhinoceros.
Okay, so it's got the toughness, the armour, if you like.
It's full strength. Head of a lion. Think of that. So you've got this picture. Head of a lion, body of a rhino.
Perfect.
Okay? Hold on, though. Pop some arms on it. The front arms were the arms of a gorilla.
The arms of a gorilla.
So it
Okay.
could punch, grip, it could make stuff. The lion, I mean, that's where the lion falls down, because it can't make stuff.
Sure.
It can't climb, So, okay then, wait a minute. You think that's got enough weaponry?
Sounds like it.
No. pop on the tail of a giant scorpion.
A giant scorpion?
Yeah.
So a
the
scorpion that's the size of a rhinoceros.
Exactly. So the tail was as long as that rhino. So now this is a scary animal.
Yeah.
And this is where the animal fell down. I thought, right, legs. Well, the fastest animal is the cheetah.
Cheetah.
Popped on 4 cheetah legs.
4 cheetah legs.
It would have collapsed.
Crushed under
It would
the
have
weight of the
collapsed
rhinoceros.
immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you drew this, did you?
Drew it, yeah.
Did you show it to anyone
Yeah,
else?
my mates went, that's brilliant.
Right.
They said, that's brilliant.
And then just sent straight to Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Any reply?
No reply at all.
Really?
No reply at all.
Surprised.
What do you think of that, Carl? If you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal, what would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, like that.
I don't
But
think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach.
No, I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay.
I'd have a head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl?
Yeah. Why? Come on. Why? What does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it
human
friendly.
race. So
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works,
Yeah.
isn't it? With
Okay.
the cat and the dog and all that. So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have. I wouldn't have legs. I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you mean? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl.
Slithering along. How
Yeah.
is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the sludge.
No, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going hoo, right. You come over, you kick the head off. How is this
No,
a
because the
survival?
head can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. Into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a
No,
ball.
this isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's go
Why
on
has
then.
it got the sludge? Why
Because
is that so
what
attractive?
I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why
lock
not have a
to
limpet
stuff.
then?
But it can't get any. How it can barely move. It can
Just
hardly
go and
get
just
anywhere.
go and kick it.
What do you mean it
just
can't get
Well, how
anywhere?
can it escape from danger? It's going to move very
rubbish.
slowly.
No, because
What? That's the
it'll
worst
lock itself
animal.
in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sand.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I'd give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why has it got peacock feathers?
Again, it's just
the worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
does,
what peacock
that's the
feathers do.
least threatening thing, peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans.
Yeah.
But the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce. Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
Let it eat
yeah.
lettuce. It moves that and let it eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, that when you went out to empty your bin, you was one of them sliding up the wall. You wouldn't even double take. You'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even expanding
got
its limitations.
problems.
Well,
Now
it's
got a
mainly
problem.
made as to be on walls. Because what else is living on walls?
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. What a useless animal that is. Carl, I mean.
But nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and again,
hell.
you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid round fucking orangey head and
Why aren't you a freak? You've got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was. I think that's the thing. That's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it. I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, "What am I doing here?" Whereas people who love their hair and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, They have hair for ages.
Nonsense.
No, nonsense,
Gobbledygook.
absolute
Well,
nonsense.
Well, you're saying that.
Absolute nonsense.
Well, it's a little bit weird then, isn't it? And that's what happens with old people once they lose their, will to live. Once they lose the job, they get old. What's my purpose? What am I doing here? And it's like nature goes, you're not needed. And they die. Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? Can't fly. Its wings are useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat
Yeah,
it.
but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they over-farmed it. I think that's why it was extinct, because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
It'd always
making this
be
up
half
again.
eaten.
All conjecture.
No, but they didn't eat it all. Everybody would probably try it and go, "It's not for me." That.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
you're
don't
just
know
making
this.
it up.
What's this based on?
I've
That
just-
people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in, and they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them because you'd farm it, you'd take more care. But what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
Once
but it's
again,
no
got
use.
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
but it's no use to us. We know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news, sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
I saw this trailer for this documentary that said the man who's having a baby. And I turned on, and it's a woman going through a sex change, and she's pregnant. That's not a man having a baby. That's a woman having a beard.
Having a breakdown.
Why is that? What? That's a con. That is pure sense. It's a man having a baby. Look, the world's first. No, it's a woman. It's a woman. What do you think of that? What would you do if you're a doctor? And I came to you and went, Carl, listen, I'm having a bit of a rethink of these. The penis, I hate it. I hate this cock.
But what do you mean you ate it?
I hate it. I don't want it there. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It just sits there resting on these fucking awful testicles that I'm going to get rid of. I want this thrown away.
Yeah, well, it's, they're not a great look. I know that. Everyone knows that. It's just the way they are. I mean, if we're all being honest, they're an odd design. I don't think anyone likes their own, do they? That's why we cover them. They're not a great thing, are they?
What's this not why we cover them, though, is
It's
it?
part of it, I think. I think deep down, I mean, even if, I know you ate the Adam and Eve thing, but even if back then he was like, good God, cover them up. Even he had a leaf on.
No, but listen. Right. So, are you thinking fundamentally, then, that aesthetically, the testicles and the penis isn't as good as it could be? What would you have there instead?
Well, it's designed that way because that's the way it's got to be designed. It's more about function than...
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? With modern technology...
You need, the thing is the testicles have to be outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Sertoli cells die, which sort of feed the semen and all that. So, to be functioning and sort of like fertile, they have to be outside, which is annoying because I'd put a little rib cage around them, like that. I'd pop a rib cage round those, protect them, wear a cricket box, have that built in, so you cannot get a swift kick in the bollocks that
but
makes
it'd
you
be
feel sick.
But it'd be better if they could sort of reverse up in a way that they were hidden away.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that they were just... Then you dropped them, it's like, right, we need to cool them down, be at it in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Zzz, drop them down.
Yeah, like the gear on an aeroplane, landing gear. Yeah, and landing gear down, and the bollocks and the cooling down. Or you could just pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes.
It's
Well,
like
they could detach and you could pop them in the fridge, cool them
Yeah.
down.
Can you make me some breasts?
Easy.
Okay. Go on, you say easy. What are you going to do? What's your plan?
Just, how do you do that? It's tablets, isn't it?
No, but
Testosterone, isn't it?
Testosterone.
Toblerone. I want some Toblerone.
Well, sort of pointy tits, like Madonna.
Where do you stop, though? Supposing I came to you and said, Doctor, listen, I like the bollocks, I like the penis, but I don't like them where they are. I want them in the middle of my chest. I want breasticles. Yeah? The arse, I don't like it round the back. I can't see what's going on. Pop that on the front where the bollocks were. I want my arse where I can look down and see what's going on. Can you do it?
I think it's just easier to move the head, isn't it?
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Carl, when was the last time you reminisced?
Well, my mum and dad have been round, haven't they? So been reminiscing a lot.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about?
We're just chatting about Tic Tacs.
One of the great memories, yeah. The happy memories.
Now, I used to love them
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
My dad got a load of them.
What,
Got-
this year?
No,
Just
no,
recently?
years
Oh,
ago.
right.
Years ago when I loved them. I said, I love Tic Tacs, me.
Yeah.
He met one of his mates.
You didn't nick him from the sweet shop?
No,
No, that's what
he
you
knew
did,
some
yeah.
mate who could get his hand on a load.
Right.
And he
Thief,
must have
he was a
got
thief.
he must have got about 30 crates of Tic Tacs.
30 crates of Tic Tacs.
Honestly, with like about 24 on each crate. We got them, stuck them in a cupboard under the just in the kitchen in the corner.
Yeah.
Now, I worked my way through about 6 crates. I was quite happy.
In how long?
I don't know, in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something.
Right.
And then after that, I'm getting sick of these.
Right.
Yeah. You were minty fresh, but you
Oh,
were sick.
lovely fresh breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't got that much more to tell you about it. It's just...
What
I
so
just
this, sorry,
remember-
whoa. Bear in mind, this was something he was recently reminiscing with his parents about. They were sat round, and we've already learned up to an hour could go by reminiscing. Sat round for an hour, talking about the great
I've already
Tic
run
Tac
out of
saga.
responses. I've got
Yeah.
nothing to say about
No
that.
opinion
I
about
mean,
that.
I was nearly going to say, what do you do with the empty little flicky Tic Tac boxes?
Yeah. But then you realise that that's utterly dull and boring.
Well,
and not
I
of any
just
interest.
I was struggling. I don't know what this anecdote is, other than a bloke. Other than you said your dad, I like Tic Tacs, mate. He went, all right. I talked to Albert. Albert, you got Tic Tacs? I've got 30 crates. If that'll do, yeah. Yeah, I'll bring him round. Put him under cupboard. He's got through 12 crates. What's his breath like? Fucking lovely, but he's been sick all over the cunting place. Oh, do you want some more? No, of course we fucking don't. You'll talk about that in a few years' time. Of course we will for about a fucking hour.
No.
And then we bring it up on an audio book.
But I think that's how we got onto it, because even though I tried to get rid of a load, I used to give them to mates, take them to school, say, have some Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
You can have them for free. We used a load in the cat litter tray.
No. No,
we
you
did.
didn't.
We did. It
No,
was
you
just
didn't.
ways of getting rid of them.
Jesus Christ.
Sort of freshy smell, isn't it? It's the
That's
same sort
amazing.
of condensity in that, isn't it?
Condensity. It is the same condensity.
Condensity.
Yeah, so I got rid of them like that. And then the weird thing was, even though I'd got shut of them all, you'd be backing up and you'd always hear one ting its way up the tube.
It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. Ting tong, ping pong. It's tinging its way up the tube.
That sounds like something from Willy Wonka.
Oh
No,
God.
it's just I'm just demonstrating that because that's how many of them there were around the house. You'd drop them, they'd go in every corner and that, like Pac-Man or something. They'd be everywhere. You'd be backing
amazing.
up, tinging it up.
Sheila's getting married. Hannah gets confetti. Don't buy any confetti. Go to cupboard under stairs.
So yeah, that's a little memory there, isn't it?
It is a little memory.
Now
It's a really little memory.
The strange Tic Tac house in Salford, where everything is made of Tic Tacs.
Wow, that must have been a hell of a time you had with your parents there. The old Tic Tac
No, but it's
reminiscence.
better. You see, you're saying, "Oh, what a boring story that is." But when
I
my
see
mum
you've
and dad,
re-gravelled the drive. Yeah, smell it. Suck the drive if you want.
no, but it's different. When my mum and dad are there and they can remember that, and they're going, "Oh yeah, the Tic Tac incidents and stuff."
What's known as the Tic Tac incident.
The Tic Tac
Let us
incident.
never speak of the Tic Tac incident.
I just imagine the clock ticking. There, it's Christmas Day. They go, "What are you smiling at?" Oh, remember it used to ting up the tube.
You should think about selling this to Hollywood.
Listen, what do you remember then?
What do
do
you
I remember?
That's
Wow.
an amazing thing to
That's
say.
a difficult question to answer.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing at all.
Carl, I know you like to be kept abreast of all the latest breaking science news. Did you read recently about the blind mice that they have been able to make see again? And hopefully they're whatever they did, which allowed these mice to be able to see again, they're hoping to be able to do with humans in maybe about 10 years' time, or at least begin tests. Extraordinary, isn't it, to be able to cure blindness would be a remarkable achievement in science.
It is, but it's just that thing how they say they've done it on mice and what have you.
Yeah,
If I was blind and I went in for the meeting with the doctor,
yeah.
and they said, "Do you want yours doing?" And then they said, like, "We've done it on mice," that wouldn't be good enough for me. I'd say, look, when the blind fella gets in, don't say we've done it on mice, just say we've done this on eyes. Because if he goes, what eyes? Just say just a pair of eyes.
Yeah.
As soon as you say mouse's eyes, it's like, well, it's not the same. And it would make me go, I'll leave it.
Yeah, and then you wake up and you can see, but you've got very tiny eyes right in the you've put in mice eyes. I'm scared of cats.
It's just eyes. I think I just don't like having my eyes messed with, and even if I was blind, I wouldn't like it.
Right.
And I think mine are more active than most, my eyes.
What do you mean?
Well, I went for a what's her name, Steve. You don't know. I've had problems with my legs.
Oh, Christ Almighty!
He's the same. What are you? 33.
He's a hypochondriac.
And you talk like you're a 70-year-old.
Honestly, the slightest thing. He's got time off work for this. We went to the dentist 3 times in 1 week. He goes now. His legs rubbed 2 times a week for some reason.
I don't.
In and out of the kidney hospital, and they're going, "There's no kidney stone, Mr. Pilkington." He's going, "Oh, right. Christ Almighty, do some fucking work."
No, the thing is, I've been in the last 30 odd years. I've been working hard, and I've let my body get run down a bit.
How have you? You're 30. What are you?
33.
Right, 33. Sorry to start off with such a hard question, but how have you been working for 30 years?
Well, I just have. I sort of I got on with it.
At 3. At 3.
No, I'm
Well, you
just
didn't
saying.
go on with anything at school, did you? Because you were just titting about.
Yeah.
You weren't working
Yeah.
out there.
What was the first job you got? How old were you?
I was 15.
Right, okay, so you've been working for 15 years then. Okay, good.
Yeah, but I
right.
had my paper round when I was 10, didn't I? And that was hard graft. That's why I'm bald and that. Getting up at 4:30. It all adds up, doesn't it? All adds up. So anyway, I kicked my height when I was a kid.
He always says this, like it's a classic story that everyone should know.
Everyone
and
knows
also
that.
the phrase "kicking my own height."
Yeah.
Explain what you mean.
Just kicked my height when I was a
Kick
kid.
your. No one understands.
You kicked your leg up to the
kicked
height
me
that
like-
you were at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
if you
kicked
were,
my height. It's not a well-known phrase. You can't just go, "I kicked my height."
so you were 4.5 foot, and you've put your toe up into the air 4.5 feet by kicking.
Yeah, but I landed on my back.
Right, okay. Imagine seeing that in the playground. They go, "Get Carl Pilkington to kick his height. I bet he falls over like a
It
fucking
wasn't in the
penguin."
playground. My dad got me to do it in the garden.
Brilliant.
But why did
They
you fall
sold
over?
tickets, the neighbours were cracking up. Yeah.
Why did you fall over? Did you hit
I just
yourself in
didn't,
the
I didn't
head?
have kicked my height. I mean, my leg got high up, but I was that chuffed that I got that high. I didn't think of putting my leg down again.
What did it look like? What the fuck did that look like?
He's got to think it all through. I thought it was automatic. In life, but
It stayed there.
You sort of stay balanced.
Christ
But you didn't
almighty.
think, well, I'm loving this. This is brilliant, but what should I do now? I got my leg up. I'll just keep it up. Whoa!
It looked like a Hitler salute with his leg. What were you doing?
So anyway, I landed on my back,
Yeah.
and and I did some damage, I think. And it's because
Definitely.
of that.
You sure you didn't land on your head?
And it's because of that, like all them years and what have you.
Yeah.
I've had like a trapped nerve in my leg.
Right.
So I thought, right, now's the time to have it done. Because when you get older, I mean, it was the kidney stone thing. Once you've sort of looked at, death and what have you, it just makes you think, got to start looking after
Do you
your
think you
body.
could die of the slightly bad leg that you've had for 15 years?
Well,
Do you think that'll eventually kill you?
well, it could do if I can't run away from danger quick enough.
Right. Again, you're thinking of Jurassic Park coming true.
Well, whatever then. I'm just saying, you've got to look after yourself. If there's anyone listening,
You could
out
always
there
hop.
who's got a problem, get it sorted.
I'll tell you what,
That's all
though,
I'm saying.
if you have to fight off danger and you kick them, put the leg back down immediately after.
So anyway, I went to see this fella, to like a professional leg rubber.
Professional leg rubber.
Yeah.
And he sort of said a few things that were quite interesting. Remember that time when we had a chat on the last lot of like podcasts? I said, am I in charge of my brain, or is my brain in charge of me?
Yeah, do you remember what I said? It's the most stupid thing you've ever said.
Yeah, well, listen to this then. So I go and see this leg rubber,
Professional leg rubber, yeah.
right? And he is professional.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, a leg rubber. You haven't said doctor at any
Yeah.
point in this conversation.
He's a leg rubber.
So this whatever, however profound this is, it came from a man who is self-confessed professionally leg rubbing.
Not just leg.
Does he do
back,
left and right? Or?
back rubbing as well? He does it all. Right.
Right.
So I'm in
Professional
there,
rubber.
and I didn't mention about how I thought my brain was in charge of me and stuff. I'm lying there. He's bending me about and what have you. The first problem he came across is that my nerves aren't long enough for my
Right.
body.
I don't know.
My nerves aren't long enough for your body.
He was lifting my legs up and I was going, right, whoa, stop that a minute, that's certain that. He's like, what do you mean? He said, I've only got them like just about...
Well, that's your tendons.
No, but your nerves are in your legs as well. And your tendons don't hurt, it's your nerves that kick in. It's your nerves that make you
Well,
go,
yeah,
that
but they
hurts.
hurt because your tendons are being overstretched.
Well, I'm just telling you what he said. Right, so he lifted the leg up and I went, right,
Was
stop
this
doing
above a
that.
laundrette, this surgery?
No, it's a proper place. He had like towels and all that on
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's got towels
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a laundrette.
so I'm lying there.
Other people's towels.
He's got towels,
he's-
underpants,
yeah,
bras.
halfway through he said, you haven't got 20p, have you, for the dryer? Okay.
So I'm lying there and he lifts the leg up
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that hurts a lot. So he said, oh yeah, short nerves. And I said, what do you mean? He said, your outside of the body is longer than your inside.
Right, he doesn't sound like a doctor. He does not sound like a
The
doctor.
outside of your body's
Yeah.
longer than the inside.
So he had me lying on my front and what have you, and he was sort of crushing me back.
Right.
And he was going, does that hurt? I said, yeah. It was like 48 quid this as well. Putting me through all this pain and what have you.
Well, you got some good advice, though.
He said, you're pretty stressed. And I said, yeah. So it's, I've quite a bit of stress in my life. And I explained to him about the kidney stones and that. I said, oh, that's that.
He
probably-
went, oh, shut the fuck up.
He probably said that. He said that's where you were probably got a lot of tenseness. And
A lot of tenseness. Is that the phrase he used as a trained professional rubber?
He's a doctor. He's definitely a doctor.
So anyway, he said, do you relax much?
You haven't got any Lenore, have you? I want these sheets to come out nice and soft.
He said, do you, you should learn to meditate or something. He said, because you're all tensed up. We're living in a stressful world, as I tell me about it. So when I was telling him that I have problems relaxing, he said, that you're obviously the sort of person.
Who's gullible enough to spend 46 quid for this hokum?
He said, you're the sort of person whose brain is in charge of them, rather than them being in charge of the brain.
So all you did was you met a person as stupid as you.
Yeah.
No, but I thought it's interesting that this is what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And he picked up, that was the first visit, I'd only been there about 22 minutes.
Yeah.
You get half an hour for 48 quid.
Right.
But he picked up on that
Yeah.
within like 15,
No, he saw
20
a right
minutes.
fucking sucker coming. No, he did pick up on that, yeah.
But anyway,
don't go
reason-
to him again.
The reason, I am doing, I've got locked into it. I've got to go at least another 3 times
Why?
and try
What
to
do
get
you
out
mean?
of it. I don't know. I didn't realise that you have to have a minimum amount of things. So what I'm saying
I can't
is-
wait. What's the wisdom he's going to come up with next week? That'll be brilliant. I will kind of, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying
Your blood's paranoid.
is, we were talking.
You've got jealous bones. You're the sort of person whose stomach's hungrier than you. What absolute fucking nonsense.
Do you know, like how we were talking about eyes, weren't we? He said the thing is, you've got to be able to relax, and the way to do it is to focus. Right? He said, I said, what do you mean? He said, when you go to sleep.
You're the sort of person whose eyes can see further than you can.
He said, when you go to sleep,
close your eyes instead of just leaving them open, staring at the ceiling.
Carl, keep breathing.
Yeah, keep breathing. Close your eyes. You're not dead. It may seem like it, but you're not. You're just asleep.
So he said,
Oh, fuck me.
he said, what you've got to do when you go to sleep, focus on your toe. Right?
Okay.
He said, and just think about nothing else. I said,
He's a witch. Did he say to put a toad under the bed?
no, he just said, focus on the toe and see how you go on and what have you. Next time you come in, let me know. Anyway, I gave this a go, focusing on the toe.
So what does this mean? You mean you sat in bed staring at your toes?
No, this is it. He said, like, lie down,
Visualising
shut
it.
your eyes and sort of look at it, sort of thing. So I was lying there. It just wasn't working because
Oh, Carl, this isn't medicine.
I was...
You
even though
were
the
thinking of a
eyes-
finger.
Well, no,
He found out he was thinking of someone else's toe. Next day,
doesn't
someone
work.
called up and said, Carl, my toe's better.
no, the problem was I was still using my eyes even though I had them shut.
Oh, God. Just when I think he could never come up with something stupid, he pulls that one out of the bag.
Right. So what does that mean?
Oh, God.
You were still sleeping with them in the shut. What does that mean?
I was straining them. I had them shut, but I was sort of looking down at my foot.
You were trying to see through your eyelids at your toe.
Well, I was looking down, so I'm thinking that's where the foot is. Because of that, I was straining them and they were stinging, so I had to pack it in.
I'm going to die. I am going to die.
Why, out of interest though, and this will sound naive, why don't we remember the very early moments of our lives? Why is it? Is it because it would be too harrowing to remember the point at which we sort of born? Because I don't really remember anything from those first few years. Why is it? Is it just because the brain's not fully formed at that moment?
I don't know.
The memory's not sufficiently developed?
I honestly...
It's got to be trauma, hasn't it? It's the things... Again, we were talking about me being younger, and the youngest I could remember back to was 1978.
How old were you then?
When
were you born?
72.
What, you
holidays.
couldn't remember earlier than 6? You
Um,
can remember back to about 2 or 3, most people. What?
No way. No way. My mum and dad don't even remember them. Because you're not doing anything. This is what I'm saying.
Mum and Dad don't even remember me then. That's amazing.
Because they pinpoint
They remember
things.
all the Tic Tacs they've ever eaten.
Yeah. Do you remember when Carl was 6? Of course I do. 5? Yeah. 4? Yeah. 3? No. 2? No.
Because you're not doing anything, are you?
My mum and Dad don't even remember me then.
And it's weird.
I remember must have been about 2 sitting on a potty surrounded by Lego. I remember that. Very strong image I have of that.
No, I don't remember that.
No, you wouldn't remember that, were you? Would
you
No,
weren't
you
there,
weren't
were
there.
you? What do you mean? What, you don't remember Steve sitting on a potty surrounded by Lego?
No, I mean, I can't remember having a potty. I remember having one of them.
I'm not suggesting you have the
You
same
used to
memory.
go in a fucking litter tray. Now I know why. To eat a Tic Tac while you're having a shit.
But okay, so what is your very first memory?
The one that cropped up the other day was having my eyes sort of glued together by...
Gangsters. Where's the fucking Tic Tacs?
No, I was,
lost the whole truck for you, yeah.
when I was on holiday and I slept near the window and the window was open and I used to wake up in the morning with my eyes shut. My mum and dad thought I was having a lovely lie in. I just couldn't open my eyes.
But I don't understand. Why were they?
I'm gonna burst. What do you mean?
Why were they glued? Why were they? What do you mean they were glued?
But why didn't you say, Mum, Dad, I'm not asleep. My eyes are glued together.
It's just that you get a build-up on the eyelashes.
Yeah.
And it all...
When they came in and you could sense them looking
I didn't know
at
they
you.
were there. I went to, what's the name? Harley Street. I went for a check-up. And like a medical. Posh, you know Harley Street, it's like it's the top doctors, isn't it? I've never been before.
Yeah.
All posh buildings and that. I went up to the counter. I said, I see the doctor. They said, name, yeah. Give us 10 minutes, go and wait in the waiting room. Dead posh waiting room. Dead fancy. Big leather furniture and that.
Yep.
Loads of magazines. I mean, like a newsagent's.
Yep.
In the middle of the room on a table. Loads of them. So I'm looking through and there's the top quality ones. Your Esquire, GQ, Classy, Yacht Weekly, all that. Country Life. Boys.
Boys.
There's one there, yeah. boys. What's that? Right, lifted up like the one on top of it, and it's like boys with a Z. Two fellas stood there, looking sort of Italian looking.
Yeah.
Right.
Dungarees on.
No shirt though.
No shirt, just dungarees sort of unbuttoned, hanging down a little bit.
Sure.
So no one else is about. I'm never going to buy a magazine like that.
You're going to tell us you looked through a gay magazine?
I had a little look just because I thought, like I say, it's one
You're
chance.
always looking to learn, aren't you? You're always looking to learn.
Yeah.
Always open. There might have been something in there that I go, right, I get it now. I understand why they like doing that or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So she said I was going to, 10-minute wait. I can have a quick flick through. Picked it up, had a look. Still none the wiser.
Why?
Well, what did you see when you opened it up?
Just loads of. Like I've said to you before about, I don't know why you like looking at knobs when they've got one of their own.
Right.
There's no
right.
surprises there. You're not going to go. Oh, yeah,
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
nice. Some had like car oil on the face. Knob out.
Yeah.
There was someone sat on like one of them square things of hay.
Oh, yeah.
Sat there, like sort of sat on it, straddling it.
Yeah. That must have been uncomfortable.
Again, knob out.
Yeah, just looking like it's normal.
That's
Sort of
crazy.
like
No
that.
farmer walks around like that.
What was the other one? There was motorbike. They always like them.
Yeah.
No, I'm going through and then like the content is all puns.
Right.
Everything was to do with knob.
Right.
That's the only bit they're interested in the male body.
Look at this bloke
It's
straddling
not-
this huge throbbing thing. The bike's not bad either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all that,
yeah.
loads of them. It was just cock, just 100%. Like let's just talk about the knob.
That's a good name for a gay magazine.
100% cock.
100% cock.
Did it not at any moment sort of maybe slightly unnerve you that the doctor might come in and see you reading boys?
No, because I wasn't.
What about if I walked through? Because I remember once when you were in hospital about to have a tube going down your knob and you were sitting in your pants with stockings on and I walked through and you were horrified. So what if I'd have walked in then and went,
Yeah,
God, what are you
I
doing?
would have just said, look at this. Look at this, it's free.
And I said, why did you bring that with you?
No, I would have just said, look, does it look like I brought it with me? Look at this.
Yes, it does. Because
Well,
I've never.
what? So you
Because
look
I
at
would never see. You would never see a gay magazine in a doctor's waiting room. So I think you bought that and pretended that it was there.
That's the thing. I was amazed by that because there was no there was no Mayfair or anything. They just catered for if you wanted a bit of knob action. It was really. I could have complained. So if you're gonna have this, where's a bit of the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a bit of this. Where's a bit of the other?
I know one of the things that they had, and I thought they're really struggling with ideas. They had a Sukoko.
As in Sudoku.
Yeah.
Sukoko.
Surely Sadico is better.
No, because it was like Sukoko.
Yeah, but it's Dick as well.
Subdico.
Yeah.
What? And it was still a Sudoku style puzzle, but it just had that name.
Yeah. It's just
So
everything.
It was just Sudoku, but called Coco. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Now, if I was gay, do you know
Let's
they
have
say?
a game of Lubo. Let's have a game of Knobopoly.
Noberation.
Noberation. Let's have a game of chess. Cock. Let's have a game of fuckaroo.
Well, that works for either sex.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how we spend our
Okay then,
Christmases.
fuck a poo.
Oh, God.